Everyone, I'm Castelasar, and I'm here with NMFlash8.
Hello, hello.
And today we are going to be bringing you through a speedrun of Super Paper Mario Any%. Now, this game is a pretty crazy speedrun, but let's get this started right away. So I'm going to click on the file. Timing starts with the save file as from the beginning. Press yes right here, and boom, go. So, Flash, tell us about Super Paper Mario.
Absolutely. So, just a little bit about the game's history first. So Super Paper Mario is one of many in the Paper Mario series. It's the third game. It's very unique, according to like the typical I guess formula for Paper Mario games. All the other Paper Mario games typically take place in a turn-based battle system or some form of other battle system. Super Paper Mario, most of the combat happens in the platforming aspect, kind of like the original Mario games. The speedrun for this game is really cool. This is one of the few games where in the Paper Mario series where you beat the game from start to finish. However, in the last 10 years, this game went from a very vanilla, just beat the game as fast as you can, to just littered with awesome, really cool strats and tricks throughout just about every single level. Yeah, the speedrun when goodness gracious, I think Castle and I started running the game. What was it, 10 years ago or something like that?
Oh man, don't say it like that.
It was.
Yeah. So about 8-9
long.
years ago is when I did my first
started
run.
playing when it was. I believe the world record was a 424 or something like that. I think Mirror had the world record at the time, but yeah, if you can look at Castle splits right now. It's a little faster than that. We found quite a few tricks. Castle's also really good at the speed game.
5 out of 10 world records. All I'm saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
Half of the main category world records, which is absolutely crazy, but. Yeah, this is a really fun speed game. There's going to be a lot of really cool visual tricks that you guys are going to see. But yeah, I'm excited to walk you guys through this.
Yeah. So, if you are more interested in running Super Paper Mario or getting to know a little bit about the game, there is 2 things that I would recommend to you. Joining the Discord server, and if you are watching currently from the Twitch stream, you can do !SPM in the chat. Or you can just literally look up SPM WR history, and you will find a 2-hour-long documentary of this game's history. And it is one of the best videos, I think a lot of people have, or one of the best world record videos that a lot of people have seen. I know there's been a lot of people telling me that that's their favorite one to watch. So
yeah, we put a lot of work into that video. It's got quite a few views, and it has blown up the community. The community has been absolutely great. It's been really fun watching everybody find all these really amazing tricks. Even this morning, there's a really cool trick found for one of the main categories that most people didn't want to do because of how awful the trick was. But man, it's just really cool seeing everybody find all these really awesome tricks to make the game, to absolutely break the game.
yes. Yeah. So just to get us started here in Chapter 1, or not Chapter 1, but pre-Chapter 1. As you can tell, I've kind of just been text mashing as we've been kind of explaining some things about the run. So we just got the Pure Heart, and we just need to put in this pillar. So there is this long sequence of things that you can do. Go down the elevator, go up another elevator, run to the left, run back to the right, go down the elevator, and then back up the elevator. Or you can just jump off the ledge. Works. Certified. So, that's one of the key elements of this game is the speedrun. is you use a lot of prior knowledge to save time later on in the run. Whether it be certain strategies for boss fights, certain items for later uses. You'll see this as soon as 1-1 even. We'll get a little bit more deep into that when we actually get there, but we're gonna go back up to Flipside Tower now and go talk to Merlin again. I would also like to mention that one of the reasons I think this game would be really nice on any marathon would be because there's a lot of time in between sections to explain kind of what's going on. Or you can do something like read out donations, which is, I think that was one of my personal favorites when I ran for the Benelux Speedrun Gathering a few years back.
Yeah, absolutely, because like we said before, there's a lot of amazing tricks that, like, some of them require really precise focus, and they just look absolutely amazing. So I think it's a really good balance of being able to oh look, there's something really cool, and oh look, here's these donations, and I think it's got a nice balance of downtime and really flashy tricks.
Yes. And I just want to touch on this prior knowledge thing really quickly. I want you guys to remember that red pipe we got. It's called the return pipe. We will be using it later, but I will bring that up when we actually get a good time to explain it a little bit better. So, this game does have the shortest prologue out of the first 3 Paper Mario games, and probably, I think it might be slower prologue than Sticker Star, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't quite remember Sticker Star's speedrun. I know there's lots of glitches and tricks, but I don't quite remember what the prologue looks like.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but we're gonna be getting right into it here now that we're done kind of explaining everything. Enter 1-1. The adventure unfolds. Yes, I will tell the dramatic story. Don't worry, guys. So enter the first level of the game here. Maybe thinking, oh, it's the first level. It must be easy. And you're kind of right. It is easy. But there is some key things that I will be doing in 1-1 that will affect, I want to say, 1, 2, 3, I want to say at least like 5 or 6 later segments of the run. And so the first one will be coming up here in Bestovius' house, though not necessarily an effect on the run itself. I will be collecting the flip ability, which is kind of like this game's main mechanic. The ability to flip into, so as you can tell, I'm playing in 2D, right? So I'll be flipping into 3D to do different kind of movements, solve certain puzzles, do lots of things. It will also be used for a handful of glitches, literally starting next level, so... You can say,
Yeah,
yes.
you'd be surprised how broken the 3D mechanics are.
Yes. So saying yes to Bestovius twice. He's like, fine, even though I know I wanted to charge you, even though you're a hero, 10,000 coins, but I'll give it to you for free because you're broke. Anyhow, we got the flip ability now. So right as we gain control, we're gonna flip, close those text boxes, pick up this Shell Shock. I'm going to opt to skip the Shroom Shake for now, but I'll probably actually pick that up in an actual one. So, Shell Shock, that Fire Burst we will be using as well. 2 items that are very, very important in this run. Especially the... I want to say especially the Shell Shock. Maybe the Fire Burst has the same impact. However, I digress.
Yeah, the Fire Burst will definitely be used later. The Shell Shock is used for some pretty cool tricks as well.
It was actually part of the birth of one of the first out-of-bounds methods in this game. That and the gold bar. So, pretty much in this level, you'll just see me run forward mostly. I'm going to... So you notice I kicked that Koopa Shell to get the 2,900 points. It also dropped me some coins. I don't need a lot of coins, but I do need a lot of points, which I will be getting in this room. I got a bad item from that box. It's kind of random what you get.
Dang, that's unlucky.
However, it didn't really mess me up too badly. So that's like the worst one to get, but the idea here was to get to about 35,000 points. I am a little bit below, but it's ideal to have, as long as you're over 30,000 points, you'll be just fine. No time loss, well maybe a little bit of time loss, but not a lot. So
Yeah.
34,900, pretty good. Very happy.
We typically hit that block because there's a random item that can pop out of it. So we don't always just hit it to randomly lose time to a text
Yes.
box. It's just kind of the luck of the draw. But you can get an item that either slows down time or speeds it up, and it triples the points that you can get, which is really good.
And in the case of the slow flower in particular, it makes that a significant amount easier.
Yep.
You'll also notice that I'm going in through most rooms in 3D. It's just to avoid every enemy and every obstacle. While there will be better ways to maneuver in 2D later on, that's just the best strategy for most of Chapter 1 and 2. Well, maybe not Chapter 2, but...
Yeah, some of the rooms there are. It's just impossible to like not get hit. And so it's easier just to lose like half a second flipping into 3D and then run to the end of the door.
Something I kind of forgot to mention was I'm playing on the Japanese version of this game. So the fun thing about the Japanese version of this game is that if you want to play the Japanese Virtual Console version, you have a random chance of your game crashing in a very large handful of rooms, which is really awesome. So, although I am doing this run in particular on JPVC, if this run is to be accepted into GDQ, I will be buying a Japanese disc to assure my run is safe. It's for some reason it's only the Japanese Virtual Console, no other language, no other Virtual Console version, or disc version for that matter.
Yeah, super weird.
The reason we play on Virtual Console, it's pretty much a given that it just kind of saves time on loads.
Yep. Also, the region is very specific. Castle's about to do a trick here where he does some really cool out of bounds movement that's extremely precise, but runners are just so good they've memorized the exact inputs that allow them to land on like 1/100th of a pixel. It's absolutely
It is
bizarre.
crazy, and this trick has had so many methods, and all of them have sucked until like the most recent one. But instead of telling you about it, why don't I just show you it? Alright, guys? Well, I will explain a little bit of it as I go, but... First thing I'm gonna do, enter the shop. But you're thinking, Castle, that's so slow, you don't need to buy anything? Well, I don't need to buy anything, you're right. I'm gonna flip here, do a glitch called Shop Clip, and do a bunch of precise out-of-bounds movements here. Now I'm in the background, but in 2D. I'm gonna run until I talk to the sign. Oh, frick. I did kind of mess that up a little bit, but the idea is I'm gonna push against the sign just a little bit. So I do that. And I'm gonna home menu and press up, and I get it, which is really nice. Run up here, jump, then right it before I kind of hit like the second half of the screen. Oh crap. I'm going to jump over and then find the star block in 3D. It is pretty easy, I just kind of slightly messed up my movement there.
But that skip saves a lot of time, around 2.5 minutes. So typically, when you can see what's going on there, there's supposed to be a green bridge that you build right there by talking to Green, and you have to do like all of these fetch quests in order to draw it.
You have to pick up
But,
this guy
like,
behind us.
Yeah, so Castle just walks on some really weird geometry. We don't even know what it is. It's just like this invisible wall that for some odd reason you can walk on, but it's like 1/100th of a pixel, so it's extremely precise. It's absolutely bizarre.
Yeah. But we are past it, and I think that was pretty good for the most part. Something I will kind of touch upon that because GBS is a pretty big explanation overall. what I just did there, pretty much, as you'll notice, I kind of went out of my way to get a fast flower and a few items, kill a few enemies. This is pretty much just get my points almost up to 50,000. If you have a really good point grind in 1-1, you could have 50,000, or like a little bit above, but it doesn't happen most runs, I feel. So we're gonna do another trick right here, coconut jump. You make the dude spit the coconut, you jump off the coconut, you don't have you probably still have blue switch at the top, you don't have to hit it with throw, and then wait on that long puzzle thingy that you will never see me ride in this run. Except maybe in 7-2, but hopefully we don't do that. Anyhow, welcome to our first boss of the game, O-Chunks. So O-Chunks is very...
Arguably the worst.
Oh, this guy. He can mess you up. Alright. But, if you do what I do, pretty easy. So you just pick him up, throw him in the corner, full jump, shake, shake. If your Wiimote wants to actually work, that was pretty good. You pretty much just combo. You can combo stylishes off him to get a bunch of points. So that wasn't perfect, but the idea here is this is the point where you kind of need to be about like 50,000, 51,000 ideally.
Yeah, he can pick you up and throw you across the room, and it loses a bunch of time.
It is ridiculous.
I was about to do another trick here. It's called Ice Turtle Skip. Essentially, you pick up this guy right here, and then get him up at a higher distance. Then you jump on him to get up to that door.
And now we have another trick coming up here. Blue pedestal skip, or as I like to call it, star block clip. So pretty much what you do is you run here, do a few kind of weird directional jumps. I kind of messed it up there, but you kind of have to like angle yourself perfectly here, do this, and then boom, it's over. It's kind of complicated how that works, but essentially it's there's a little platform there that you can kind of run on that's like halfway in the wall that you can only run on if you have momentum. So you kind of have to stand in a precise-ish position, just keep running on it. And you can kind of, and the star block is just still loaded even if you don't do the puzzle there. So you can just flip back into 2D and hit the star block.
Super cool.
As you can tell, a lot of stuff going on already in the run, right? So 1-4 will have two big things I'm doing. The first one coming up here is Key Early. So, oh man, Key Early is a doozy, man. Flash actually was one of the people who helped discover Key Early, along with...
Yeah, JCR and I found this trick.
There was a lot of people who did contribute to the trick as well, don't get me wrong. It was Flash and JCR who made it all happen.
Well, JCR originally had the idea that when we go into this next room over here, there is a key that's loaded into the game. You have to like go into another room, hit another block, and then like the chest or one of the parts will open. But the key is technically still there. He's like, I wonder if we could go out of bounds somehow and get our way up there. And so I started tasking the idea, just clip out of bounds like Castle did, and then walk on the seam and then go climb over to grab it.
Yeah, so you pretty much just walk on the sand. I kind of like blew on that, to be honest, but it's alright.
That was really good.
It's still
Better
fun.
than I could do it, and I found the trick.
Yeah, so pretty much, like, you'll notice, I walked on the seam of the sand. You kind of have to go halfway inbounds, but halfway out of bounds still. Jump on there, and then you can maneuver along the blocks. So that actually is not the original method of doing that. That was actually discovered by myself back, like, I think it was only like a few weeks after the trick was discovered, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the original thing you do is once you get on to, like, just above the quicksand, you'd flip and then jump off the question mark blocks. But I found that you can if you're gonna walk on there, I thought, maybe you can just keep walking. And thus that version of Key Early was born. But yeah, we do have a little bit of downtime from all these hard tricks for at least a few minutes here. It's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, even when there's not even like these really big tricks, there's still lots of little tiny things like movement. For example, whenever Castle enters one of these doors, you'll notice that he like turns the other direction, and that's because all of the followers, Tippy, Throw, they have to enter the door from the center, and so if he turns, it just magically brings them closer to the door. Yeah.
So actually, I'm not to be rude, but I will correct you on this. Is that Tippy will just go through the door. That's why you don't see me focusing too much on it when I don't have any pixels.
Yeah. Also, another really cool thing, sometimes when your pixel is active, like when you see Castle using Throw, the pixel, they'll just not even go through the door, and so it saves a little bit of time.
Yeah, I did it twice in this level. It's kind of weird, because when you do it on that last door, it's kind of weird and doesn't work how it kind of should, but on any locked door, because you don't have to wait, because their animation stops on the lock, and everything around you kind of stops, it just... I don't even know what it does to them. I can't even, like...
They just freeze and they don't follow you anymore.
Pretty much.
Kind of weird.
But yeah, this is Fractale, Guardian of the Second Pure Heart, and...
Yeah, you're gonna let us go.
Yeah. And then this jerk, Dementio's like, nah, let me mind control you. This is not the pure heart you are looking for. Yeah, so Fractale will be our first end of chapter boss fight. Pretty standard boss fight for the most part. So Fractale is gonna start flying around trying to scare us. But when Fractale's actually flying, he doesn't really do anything, which kind of makes it a whole lot less intimidating. He's gonna fly over our heads. Oh no, dragon! Oh no, dragon! Now, it's kind of just like a 40-second wait here, but it is kind of nice, just you can kind of like mess around, like you can just do this. I'm gonna do this weird like walking glitch. I'm just gonna flip like this. When you're flipping, you have some slight invisibility frames. As soon as the screen stops shaking and I'm in 2D, flip back into 3D, then run the opposite direction Fractale is flying. As soon as he's off screen, start running back towards him. Close to his text box, and just going to run at him. I'm going to use my invis frames from taking 3D damage to jump on Fractale a lot easier and a lot faster. Now, I'm going to stand in this spot right over this yellow line thingy right here, spawn 3 of the dudes. I've got 3 of them, another one will spawn behind me, I'm going to pick him up, and align Fractale's body with the heart on the 3D meter. So he just clips through it. And when this third fight comes along, I'm going to mash the A button flip, and I'm going to do, we just call it the 3D Fractale strat. Pretty much, it just kind of skips the waiting for the guys to spawn in. So, not a bad 1-4. The key early wasn't great, but this is still like this is an okay run for the most part.
Very nice, very nice.
I should note that as of this run, I am a little rusty. I haven't actually completed 90% in probably over a month at this point, but I'm feeling good today. I did some practice, so
Doing really good.
Thank you.
This is one of those sections where like lots of lore, lots of dialogue. And we have a lot to talk about during this section as well.
A lot.
Again, this would be like one of those perfect sections for talking about donations. But since we don't have any AGDQ or whatever donations coming in, or SGDQ, sorry, coming in, do you want to talk about the Peach intermission skip?
Yeah. So, actually, before we talk about the Peach intermission skip, though, I do want to mention my PB's chapter 1. It is the only ever run to get a sub 24-minute exit. I do want to flex that a little bit. It is a phenomenal thing to do without a fast flower. And I've never even done it with a fast flower either, so So
That's crazy.
while this run looks really bad based off these splits, it is a decent run, kind of. I would probably reset this still, but point being, after this, it kind of like mellows out, and you won't see me lose this much time in any one chapter again, more than likely. Besides maybe chapter 7, but yeah, the Peach intermission skip. So after every chapter, we're gonna get a little cutscene with Count Bleck and Snake, right? So the first two pre-chapter intermissions you have with these guys, you'll be playing as Peach, and then the second time you'll play as Luigi. So, while it may seem like a really insignificant thing when you first look at it, if you dig a little deeper, you'll realize that we are currently in the level of 8-1. So this is one of the most perplexing things in this game's history. So the Peach intermission skip is pretty much, there's a ledge to my right. You go down the pipe. You open the chest to get a key. And that will set your sequence position all the way to 8-1 instead of pre-chapter 2. So it's kind of like the base layer of it, but there's no way of actually getting up the ledge without like a moon jump code. But I think the one theory that I had that I think would be like that'd be the most likely to work would be some kind of like menu storage to use a poison shroom, and then do a glitch known as a life shroom jump up to that ledge. So this is all highly theoretical, but if you could find a way to get up there and get that key, you could theoretically bring this game down from 3.5 hours down to only like 1.5, which is crazy. So
Absolutely bizarre.
there is another problem with this, however, is that even if you were to do that, get the key and make your way back, right? The problem is you can't really do anything. You're locked in 8-1 because you need 3 things that none of these 3 things you can get or have. The first one is the character Bowser. Second one is the Pixel Fleep, and you don't get Tippy back. And without those things, it is impossible to complete the game.
But on paper, it would be so cool if we could somehow like smuggle like a menu, or even taking damage. Or I think even if we were able to like flip into 3D, which I mean typically really isn't possible with any other character, but yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, I think we got to break the game a little bit more before we can get up to that ledge. I mean, if you've ever seen like a TTYD run, you'll see something called jump storage. So Super Paper Mario has the exact same thing, and actually storing jump storage is way easier in SPM than it is in TTYD, but we don't have any way to harness it. So like it's literally just like, I don't know, like it. Man, there's a lot. We're super close to getting up to that ledge. It's just cutscenes are difficult to work with.
So, but on the bright side, even though it's not necessary, it wouldn't necessarily be useful for any percent without like a bunch more discoveries. It would be useful for a few other categories like Defeat Shadoo.
Oh, absolutely.
And that'd
Yeah,
probably actually be the
it'd
only
be
category it'd be
absolutely
useful for. Actually, now that I think about it, but but I digress. So we're back in Flipside. Welcome back, guys. So we're gonna talk to Merlin. We're gonna show him our heart, and he's gonna tell us, "Yo, that's so cool, man." And this guy's gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, a girl fell out of the sky!"
Just like that. He's a.
Yeah, pretty much. He actually does. He's like girl, of the sky. You can kind of see like his one character messages, but. So, you see him running to the right. We're gonna run to the left. This is another instance of prior knowledge. This is like the beginning of the whole prior knowledge thing, actually. But we're gonna take our fire burst and we're gonna head over to Saffron here. All right.
Yeah, the fire burst that we found in Gustovius's house in 1-1.
Give it to him, or give it to Saffron to cook. Give it to her. And she's gonna cook us a spicy soup with it. How you turn fire into soup? I don't know. the magic saffron, I guess. So we're gonna return pipe really quickly. So return piping, like I said, this is gonna save us a lot of time on backtracking. So pretty much instead of going up that elevator to the left and then going up another elevator, turn pipe up here, then I jump down here like we did in pre-chapter 1, and boom, we're already in this room in the span of roughly like 15-20 seconds.
Saves a lot of backtracking and going all the way around and then going back up the elevators. Just lots of prior knowledge time save.
We're just gonna give this spicy soup to Peach. So now they're gonna just like, yap on for a little while. So pre-chapter 2 is kind of the last section where you get a lot of this for a little while, which is really nice. So after this, we will be into like a bunch more gameplay.
Absolutely, and it's nice too that there's a lot to talk about for 3-2. There's you got the whole Peach intermission skip, lots of prior knowledge, and we unlock Peach now, which is also something really cool. Typically, we only really use Mario because the 3D ability is just super overpowered. And I think Mario even walks faster than all of the other ones except for like
Luigi,
yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, we unlock Peach and then just immediately switch back to Mario.
Yeah, look at this. Because you have to go into 3D here to get to this gate.
Weird game design, like, oh, here's this new character. Yeah, you don't need her. Switch back to Mario if you want to keep progressing.
Yeah. But technically speaking, you are supposed to use Peach in at least a few of the upcoming sections. But if you're really good at this game, you really could just skip every single use of Peach for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's only like one part of the game where you're actually required to switch to Act 2. Two parts of the game where you're actually required to switch to Peach. And that's for 3-4 and a boss fight in 8-2.
Yeah, because like literally the game checks to see if your character is Peach.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm doing here. So you're gonna pick up this guy, throw him onto that ledge, jump on him, and boom. So naturally, when I get out of that little like corridor, you go south there, and then up those things, and use Peach to fly over here. But you can just jump off that guy. Pretty awesome, if you ask me. It is really
like 30 seconds or
cool.
something like that.
That was not. But yeah. So that's pre-chapter 2, pretty much. One more return pipe that we're gonna use here. And we're gonna enter chapter 2.
Lots of really cool tricks incoming in this level.
Yes.
You're gonna have to explain this first trick because I literally have no clue how this works. Like I've speedrun this game for a while, and there's rarely a time where I don't know what's happening. I do not understand this first trick.
So this is actually kind of connects to this thing that was discovered this morning, right? So we're gonna be doing like a really it's a really simple set of inputs, but it's really complicated exactly how it works. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But for now, welcome to 2-1. So this will be the first use that we actually need to use Peach. So you could skip this with a life stream jump or like you can use throw for some really cool, awesome tech thing, but I don't know how to do it properly. And I know it's really hard, so I wouldn't do it.
It's really easy just to use Peach there and switch back to Mario.
Oh. We're gonna jump over here, jump off these things. There's a cool trick you can do where you can take damage off that guy and not have to flip into 3D, but it's too hard and it loses a lot of time to miss, so I'm not going for it. And combo off these guys to get a few points. And I'm gonna get a key here. So this trick that I mentioned, you pretty much do something called a Z-manip, and it works specifically in rooms like these, or the next one rather, where the wall is kind of, in 3D, it's kind of at a slight angle. I'll just show you. So we're gonna kind of hit off this guy, flip here, hold right, jump off this guy. You don't actually have to, but then gonna run to the corner of the room, hold down left. I'll quickly do that. And then you're in a position where you're kind of half in the background, but also like in 3D still, so you can. So instead of going on that pipe that you saw in the top left of the room, you kind of just clip out of bounds. It's hard to really explain how that works. Like I said, you do like a weird set of Z movements using the crouch and the 3D, the 3D thingy, the 3D movement. It's again, it's really complicated.
I know it has something to do with like when you like touch a wall, like it like moves your Z axis.
Yeah, so it kind of
like
pushes you, because when you get to the end of the room, it can push you. You're far enough into where it decides to push you left instead of right. But I digress. We're already coming up with the next skip, Boomer Skip. So Boomer Skip has been around since, man, like 2012, I think. Probably soon.
Long time since Livestream Jump.
Yeah. So pretty much, but this is a different method. We're gonna use the shell shock here. That'd be really like, oh, hold on. Make it big. Take it at this guy, kill him. And then we're gonna line up with this fourth line right here. Mario's boot. Run all the way to the right. All the way to the left. And then you kind of like do like you run and jump to the left, and then press right near the peak of Mario's jump to throw the shell up there and hit the switch. And that right there saves a minute 10. Yeah, it's not a hard skip. Kind of hard to learn, but you get used to it once you learn it. But
yeah, it can be pretty punishing if you don't get it. But fortunately, like it's not the end of the world. Like if you were to miss this in like the marathon itself, you can literally just run over and grab Boomer, and it'd be no big deal.
That's the really nice thing about SPM, is that you never really, there's nothing that will really end like a run, like any given reset run. As long as you're willing to continue, you can finish it out without losing more than like 2 minutes, which would probably be about how much that loses. But again, it's a really rare chance that I'll actually miss that in a run.
Yeah,
but,
I don't.
But never say never. Oh, I'm gonna say that. Like,
yeah.
there's a really funny clip of me saying like, imagine if I missed Boomer Skip, bro, I'd be absolutely selling. And then I missed Boomer Skip. Yo, what's up, The Mind 2001? Thank you for the raid, Mickey D. I appreciate that. Welcome everyone from Mickey D's Streaming Castle. We're currently doing a GDQ submission run. I should probably actually move the alert box.
Cancel. Cancel.
What? What? What?
We're sailing.
No! We're gonna die, Chad! Okay, anyways, so this ceiling just kind of falls, and then it crushes me. It's actually faster to get crushed, but you actually don't die, you just lose 2 HP. It's really anticlimactic, but it is...
And it's actually faster to take damage.
Yeah. Now we're gonna do a really weird piece of maneuver where you jump off the question mark block. And then do that. Oh man. I kind of messed up the movement there. I meant to drop all the way down, but you jump off the question mark block to get up there, which you can kind of see like the platforms up there that you would normally have to maneuver across, but because I jumped off that, I didn't have to. Other here is just a really small piece of movement, but you can. So this dog's hitbox is literally just a little body, so you can jump right through the head. It's easy and it saves like 3 seconds.
But like goodness gracious, it's so easy just to jump right through.
It's one of my favorite tricks in this game just because of how funny it is.
Oh man, this next level. So broken.
So
again, prior knowledge is huge here.
So why don't you explain what you normally have to do in this level, Flash?
So you're about to see it right now. Castle's about to go. He's about to go break something.
Break.
Take out his rage on some some nice jewelry or whatever it is.
I think it's like
I guess it's like a vase.
I think it's canonically a vase.
Yeah.
But
So-
pretty much, Mimi here says now we owe her 1 million rubies, and we don't carry rubies, we carry coins.
Yeah. We don't have time to. If you've ever played Super Paper Mario, you know exactly what level this is, and you know that you have jumped and hit a block or ran in a hamster wheel for more than 30 to 40 minutes trying to beat this level. But since we already know all of the passcodes, we're just gonna go straight to the end of the level and enter the passcodes.
Yeah, pretty much. So that right there it's actually faster on the Japanese version to go through that door, just as the way cycles work here. And we're gonna do a trick called Slim Skip, where we pretty much just like you kind of just run against on this little black piece here, then just hold up and jump, and you just clip right through the bars.
Crazy.
It's really easy. It's really easy. It's really easy. So now we're gonna type in the code 41262816, and boom, 1 million rubies.
Money.
So, just like that, we have the 1 million rubies we need.
Yeah. Also, you're supposed to get another pixel.
Slim.
But he's about to just completely skip Slim right here by going through the bars.
Yeah, so Mimi's just gonna take all of the rubies that we just earned, with all that hard work, and she's just gonna explode. Boom! And so we're gonna do. So now she's just kind of dead. We gotta hit that star block. Now we're gonna just do some black magic here and just kind of just jump into these bars and just run right through them. Just like that. You just it's. I'm actually really glad I got that second try. I did it 2 times in a row in practice today when I was doing it, so.
You gotta immediately send the run.
Yeah.
Make sure you get it first try.
Yeah, but that's simple trick. You literally just jump, hold upright, and it's easy. What's up, Hayden? By the way, thank you for the GL. And so something we didn't really touch on too much is that when we skip pixels like Throw, Boomer, and Slim, is that after their respective levels, by hitting the star block, you'll get the pixels back. So this works for most of the pixels. The only exceptions are Fleep, Sudley, and Cudge.
And to be fair, those are the only ones that don't have a possible skip by any regular means.
Yes.
And we skip literally every single other pixel. Do we skip all of them?
All the pixels you can skip, we skip now.
That's actually crazy. I remember thinking about that when I was running the game way back when, like, because originally Lifestream Jump or Green Bridge Skip, the weird stuff like where you walk on the weird geometry in the black room,
That didn't
used
exist.
to be, yeah, that used to be Lifestream Jump, and that would skip Throw. And then we never skipped Boomer just because you had to do another Lifestream jump, and that was just really difficult.
Yeah, doing 2
Slim
live
skip
stream jumps in
didn't
one run was
exist.
just not realistic.
Yeah.
Except
Slim
for the
skip
one
didn't
time it
exist.
was.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Shoutouts to I'm Dead. That was really cool. But yeah, all of the possible pixels to skip now are skipped, which is just crazy.
It's
to
great.
think
It's
about.
awesome. A lot of this you can thank people like John for. John Igurumi, and
Mohawk, Roblox,
Yeah.
tons of it's crazy. The glitch hunting community is just phenomenal.
so pretty much what you guys
we
for
completely
just go through the maze.
talked over the nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mimi's head is freaky. If you've played this game as a kid, you know how scary that is. You know what it's like.
Love motion controls.
Yes. I'll pick this up. I'm not at risk or anything, but I'll pick up the Super Shroom there just because I want to get more points here. I was slightly low, but I think I would have leveled up just in time for the 3-1 boss. But here, we talk to Merlee. And something I want to touch on here is that, you know, we've all seen Mimi copy Merlee, right? We saw it before, saw her change back into her Nightmare Fuel spider form. But now, you guys are going to discover something. Something that, you know, in school, in life, I always wondered, and pondered upon this one very, very, very big question. You know, personally, I'm a boy, right? You guys can see that. And I've always seen girls walk into the bathroom together. And I always thought that was suspicious. But now after playing Super Paper Mario, I know it's because they have game shows here. Game shows in the bathroom! The only thing we had in the boys' bathroom was... well, you can guess. But I also want to touch on the fact this is the 66th annual That's My Merlee game show. 66
this
times.
This happens pretty often.
I know Merlee's like a few thousand, like at least 1,000 years old, but still. This is absurd. This has to stop happening.
But yeah, essentially what this game shows is that you're just trying to guess which one's the right one. And you can kind of tell which one is the right one because it has like she has like a fly around her because she's like hiding in the toilet. Kinda gross.
But it's also always the one on the left, so.
Yeah.
So Mimi functions quite similar to Fractale, where it's like it's based on hits rather than the amount of damage you do. You gotta do one hit to get rid of the barrier, and the second hit will always, I'm pretty sure the second hit, no matter how close after that first hit is, will always be an effective hit. I'm just gonna combo Mimi here. So right as Mimi is falling, I'm gonna switch to Boomer. Kill a few seconds. I do need Boomer for pre-chapter 3, so it is indeed an optimal time to do it.
There's also a really cool thing where if you were to like hit Mimi before like as she dies, I don't remember the exact specifics of it, but like if you do it a certain way, you'll also sequence break up to like the very, like I think it's 8-2.
Yeah, 8-2 after the boss.
It's technically the same Mimi that you fight at the end of the game. But like when you do that, this cutscene coming up where it shows the Mimi Merlee's house? Merlee?
Yes, Merlee's house.
Yeah, when it shows her mansion, it'll crash the game because the characters don't load because
they're not supposed to load on that map. Pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
There's actually another funny glitch you can do there where you can go to bounds. I would have showed it off if I remembered, but if you kill Mimi really close to the left wall, you can have Mario like literally just walk through the wall and fall out of bounds. I actually randomly discovered this one time in a run. It doesn't usually happen unless like you like mess up the fight, but it is still cool nonetheless. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it loses like half a second, but it is a pretty funny thing to showcase nonetheless.
I'll be right back.
Okay. So like I mentioned earlier, we're in pre-chapter 3 now. We got a little bit more downtime. Luigi is our intermission character for this. I don't know, the last time. This is the last time we have an intermission character. So Luigi here. Unfortunately, there's no known sequence break with Luigi. As far as I know, there very likely probably is one that you could do. If you could somehow get like a castle black key and go to the right, I think you could probably go through that door on the right. then play 8-3 kind of normally. We're pretty much just gonna run left. Not exactly a whole lot going on. Sorry, I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. Left. This would be like these corridors right here would be a pretty good place to bring up like a donation, incentive, whatever. This game gets Resort. Hail Black. Gary, no! That is that guy's exact line, by the way. Gary, no! But yeah, Luigi gets abducted, pretty much. You don't exactly know what happens to him from here on out. Anyways, that's besides the point. We are back to Mario's story here. Talk to Merlin, he's like, oh, you guys got the neck for your heart? And then the void just kind of, like, grows. So, just pre-chapter 3, there's not too much that happens, but there is a route convergence here that I will touch on. So there's 3 different routes that you can kind of use for a high-level any % run. So this involves picking up an item called the HP Plus. So just below the Chapter 3 Heart Pillar, just a room down, there's an item called an HP Plus that sells for 400 coins. So we started picking this up back in 2020 after Cora discovered that you could just walk through a wall and get the HP Plus that you normally can't access until about Chapter 6, much earlier than intended. And this skipped out on 1, collecting a lot of coins, and 2, collecting a lot of items to get more coins. So the fastest route would be to not grab it, but there's a catch. For the late game bosses, you use a damage boosting item called a Mighty Tonic, and I want to use the Mighty Tonic because it just makes some fights a lot easier. I also have to really... I'll be right back. I'll explain it after. I'm back. So back on the whole Mighty Tonics thing. Pretty much, you want to use the Mighty Tonics to fight bosses, and with Bowser, when we get Bowser in a little bit here, it changes things up because we'll be doing a handful of boss fights with Bowser. But pretty much, if you were to use Bowser and Dudley together, you'd do a combined total of roughly 40 damage per hit, which is very, very useful. Because using Bowser and Dudley, you can shred through almost any boss in the game in seconds. In like less than 10 seconds. Even the final boss with Bowser, Thudley, and a Mighty Tonic, you can shred through Super Menchio in like 5 or 6 hits. It is very, very crazy. So the world record route, or well, not world record route, but Zach's former world record of 347.50 doesn't collect any tonics besides the one at 5-2, which he uses on Count Bleck. So in that route, where you only collect the one, you pick up an Ice Storm and 8-3 for one of the bosses. Some other shenanigans. But yeah. 3-1, I am kind of carrying up the Mighty Tonic, but 3-1, we lost Tippy. We're just gonna be kind of bursting without Tippy. It's not too different than how we already play, but something to note upon whole. I do want to kind of finish my Mighty Tonic spiel here. Throughout that I do, you collect one, so you get the HP plus, but you only buy one tonic, and then you just don't use the tonic on the final boss. And then the last one is where you get the HP plus and you buy 2 tonic. Anyhow, chapter 3, I did kind of something there. If you delay the text box there, you can make this cutscene last a little bit less time. So we're at Bowser's Fortress here. Take this guy. Do a really weird set of movement here. You can just dodge all these enemies, place Boomerang at the beginning of Bowser's Fortress, and blow it up. So now, you'll notice I got a bunch of points there, so this will bring me to my level up.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I just explained HP plus early and route differences of Mighty Tonics.
Nice.
But anyways,
Bowser.
yes, we got Bowser now, so this is the reason we want 60,000 points. Because if you don't have 60,000 points, instead of taking 4 hits, Bowser will take 6. So Bowser is a slightly RNG fight, but you'll never lose too much time to him. The idea thing you want him to do is just to blow fire at you, so that he doesn't move too much and it's easy to get him with Boomer. If he jumps, it makes it a lot harder to hit him because you have to kind of time your Boomer explosions. But yeah, so we're gonna yap on to Bowser and he's gonna be like, I don't want to join your party because I don't like you, Mario. And be just like, oh, but Bowser, if Black rules the world, then you can't. Slash destroys all of them, because that's what he's going to do, not rule them. Anyhow, Bowser's like, fine, I'll join your stupid quest, whatever. So now we got Bowser.
Bowser hits really hard.
Yes.
He's the go-to for
every boss fight. Yeah, we kind of touched on that a little bit, but so again, instead of telling you guys, I'll show you when the time comes, which you won't be waiting very long. But for now, we'll switch back to Mario and start 3-2.
Oh boy.
So 3-2 introduces 2 key tricks of this run. Well, 2 key components, 2 tricks.
Arguably the most broken.
I think arguably is it's not even arguably, it just is true. So just for swimming here, swimming's kind of slow, so we kind of just like jump out of the water. It's actually, fun fact, it is actually faster to walk than it is to swim underwater. So anytime where I'm not able to jump out of the water, you'll see me walking instead. Like here. Or well, here. Here we go. Oh, I missed. No! I tried flipping, but my input kind of dropped there. Fine. But yeah, this is what you're supposed to do. Walk through there. So you'll be seeing me pick up the most important item in this run, pretty much. It's a gold bar. But you might be thinking, why is that important? What does that do? It only sells for 90 or like 100 coins, whatever, right? Well, you're right, but you're also missing something.
You're also wrong.
So this gold bar will allow us to go out of bounds anytime, anywhere. And I'm not even kidding. This isn't even exaggeration. The only times that you cannot go out of bounds when you have a gold bar in your inventory is when you cannot use pixels. Well, actually, you also need Slim, but we'll fully touch on that in 3-4.
Oh, that's right. You guys don't use a gold bar clip anymore in
3-3, yeah.
3-3.
Oh, that sucks.
Wow. And those bloopers like giving people bad RNG.
I was like looking at that too, and I was thinking that was gonna be good. But yeah, those bloopers kind of move in an RNG way, and it's really annoying when they don't work in your favor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dudley. So what Dudley's gonna do for us, and you'll see this really quickly, is like I mentioned earlier. When you use Dudley, you get a damage boost on any enemy you ground pound on. But this will also be used for the two biggest skips in the game, pretty much. The first one, oh actually no, I'll leave that for then. But the first use of Dudley will be in 3-3. It'll be used to, let's just say, go faster up the tree without needing to do nearly as many switches. Dudley has been used since like the dawn of time in speedruns pretty much of this game. 3-3 was actually one of the biggest uses of Dudley until late 2019. I was gonna say late 2020, but that's not true. Point of the story, Dudley's a broken pixel, and you'll just have to see when we get there.
You won't have to wait long, trust me. We use Dudley almost immediately.
Yes. So just in this room, we're just gonna go right.
This boss fight that's coming up is got some really cool history behind it.
First, why don't I show you guys something really awesome?
Bowser's arms.
Bowser's arms, baby! Alright, so this boss fight, Big Blooper, is really easy. So even before we start the fight, I'm going to be holding down before I can close the first two text boxes. And I'm going to hit this tentacle, or this red tentacle. And then right when I get to that little piece of coral, I'm going to press 1 to use Dudley. Oh, that was almost bad. And then ground pound on him. Shaboom!
This
a lot of breath.
take a long time.
And just like that, Big Blooper's done. It works the same way as Fract Hill and Mimi, where it's just you have to get a certain amount of hits on him. But that is 3-2. Nothing too crazy. One of the few levels without like a huge like major. Actually, that's not true. Blooper is pretty major tech, for the most part. But that's not why you guys are here now. So this part coming up will introduce you guys to Thudley Jumps. So Thudley Jumps is that glitch I was talking about with Thudley that saves a lot of time, and we will be using it a handful of times here. So that's what it is. You pretty much use Thudley, ground pound to ground pound, cancel the ground pound, and then there's a certain frame, about 4 frames after you cancel the ground pound, where you can flip into 3D.
It is also frame perfect, by the way. just in case anybody was wondering.
But, although it is frame perfect, and you have to do a lot of them, it is really easy to learn a rhythm for them. So it shouldn't take you more than just a few attempts to get anyone, and you can attempt it as many times as you want. And we're going to continue using Thudley Jumps in the next room here. I gotta actually do something real quick here. Post that emote. So, we're going to use something called Tree Skip. So there's this really long section of the tree we used to do with Dudley, where we just Dudley jump up a bunch of platforms.
I hated that.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
But pretty much we're going to skip doing So it's really, really easy here. So So this is gonna be like, I don't even know why this exactly works, but you pretty much just like line yourself up on the pipe here with Mario's boot. Is that? Just like that. Run all the way to the wall, flip, and then you just run over to the switch. Oh, I messed it up. Okay. Come on. That'll work. I haven't done this trick in a little while. Yeah, but pretty much you can just drop Boomer through the floor if you set that up correctly. The idea is you just want like the very tip. So when you're looking to the right, you want the tip of Mario's left boot just barely sticking off. And then I'm pretty sure the way it works is I think it's one of those weird walls where you just kind of get pushed. So here we're gonna see like the first use of Bowser Thudley. I got kind of unlucky there, but too much. I'm gonna damage boost here to hit Dimentio with Bowser and Thudley. You'll notice that, well, my regular attack with Bowser is 6. With Thudley, it's 12. And we'll be using this to shred. Like I said, we'll be using this to shred through a handful of boss fights. And yeah, I mean, there is a handful of boss fights we actually don't use Bowser for, but for most boss fights, we will be using.
You do big damage.
Actually did kind of mess this up a little bit. Usually I switch to throw right below that guy so I can see the wind. I got a really fast wind, actually. I ain't complaining. Pretty much you gotta wait for these red winds. It is RNG how fast they are and when they spawn, but usually it's never too bad. I think the worst that I've gotten was like I lost like 40 seconds the one day. But on like a good day, that's on like an average, not even a good day, like on an average day, that's about what you get. Maybe like a slower wind, but so, 3-4. This is one of the longest levels in the entire game. And it is... This level sucks to speedrun because you can get really screwed over, but it is one of my favorite levels. For a few reasons. And one is Francis, because yeah, Francis is... From a casual's perspective, Super Paper Mario is such a funny game. Like... The game design is so bad that it's funny sometimes. I'll be honest. Like, there's a couple sections that we'll bring up, but there's just some tomfoolery going on here with Francis. Like this guy, I don't even know.
He's a silly goose, that's for sure.
He's a nerdy lizard who doesn't know how to talk to women.
Same.
Love you, Francis. We all the same. This guy says same as if he isn't married. What is this? We're being lied to. But yeah, so pretty much, we are at the beginning technically of a skip right now already. Although we're not in like too far into the level. It's called Carry Skip. It's one of the pixels we'll be skipping. So, it does save like 20-30 seconds. So, pretty much...
Points.
Those guys get like 6,000 points.
All the doors look so cool.
Do a little mini Thudley jump. If you jump too high, you won't be you'll actually get stuck slightly above it. Go up to a little too fast to hit that switch. But you'll see Thudley jumps used a decent portion of the run, just like in little small places. Gold bars have actually cut out like a lot of the Thudley jumps, and you'll kind of see why when I actually do it. So pretty much, the trick is called a gold bar clip. So using Slim and a gold bar in the right set of inputs. Gotta focus this. Pretty much, you can just go out of bounds. Anywhere, anytime, whenever, wherever.
The reason why Castle has to focus for that part, if you don't get that code right, he sends you to the very beginning of the level. It's so big.
It's a ridiculous 2-minute time loss. And I have lost like a few runs to that.
Yeah, there's a fancy little thing where if you accidentally press like a D-pad direction while pressing like the 2 button or the select button, you get like a double input. And I can't tell you how many runs I've seen like lost to double inputting and putting in the wrong code.
Yeah, it's a tragedy. Double inputs are actually like a very, very common thing to see ruin run. Well, maybe not common necessarily, but it is something. If you're gonna see a run get ruined by anything ridiculously out of your control that isn't a crash, it'll probably be double inputs.
Yeah, and technically it is possible to like double inputs. They're not like RNG or anything. Like it's like if you did it, like it was your mistake. It's just like one of those weird things where like if you press 2 buttons at the same time, like.
Please!
While you're trying to go fast.
Come on.
Oh, sorry about that.
That wasn't your fault. I hate gold bar clips sometimes. Yeah, that's a gold bar clip pretty much. Use Slim, jump on the gold bar, hold the direction you want to go, pretty much. There is a few limitations because you actually have to already be going in only the right direction you want to go. So if I'm going in, so if I want to go down, I can't be going left or right when I'm hitting the gold bar. Otherwise, it just will not work. But yeah, double inputs, stupid. That's what we're trying to get at here.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous.
We will be doing have to do another gold bar on the way back. Let's see here. I turn around and switch to Slim here because it kills a little bit of time with the pixel moving, so you don't have to wait nearly as long for the door, no matter what. So if you do, even doing a door turnaround is slightly slower than that. There is technically a skip there you can do called elevator skip, but I don't like doing it because it just doesn't. It's just too RNG to be worth it in a run anymore. And it's like I'd rather just consistently get like a good time here rather than use a zillion years.
This trick has technically been called carry skip before, because you would Thudley jump across those spikes, but it's like only a handful of runners have ever really tried it, and it's probably one of the harder sets because you can't hit the ceiling and you can't hit the ground, so they have to be like perfect. But it was a meme because it would only save like a few seconds, but since we have gold bar clips, we just do it all the time now.
Yeah. It actually is faster technically to do it with Thudley jumps, but only for the task.
Ugh. Gross.
So I'm gonna talk to this cat door with. You have to talk to the cat door with Peach, or at least the second time you do. And it's gonna ask you a bunch of questions. Just say yes. And the one I think that is the best is the one that says, I go onto message boards and complain about video games I've never played before. And I think that has stuck out to me as something that just it is still like that today. Like I always found that really funny. But now we're in Francis' little lair, and he brings us into one of the best parts of this game, and that is the dating simulator. So, if there is any totally hot babes out there that want to swoon.exe with me, my Discord is CastleSR. My phone number is 41.
Maybe not.
But yeah, Francis is gonna bring us through this little dating sim. And I pretty much try to get Peach to fall in love with him.
Oh.
And we're gonna ruin his hopes and dreams.
This is like he actually calls this this dating sim swoon.exe.
He also brings up a website called the digibutter.ner, which is a real website, by the way, which I am signed up for. It's literally just like a forums website. It's actually if you wanted to use that website for like Nintendo news, you absolutely could. Just for the memes. But anyways, we blow up Francis' dating simulator, and now he's upset and wants to beat the crap out of us. All right. He's gonna cry a little bit, be like, "There's no Chippy function on my computer." But now we're actually in the room, and we can't get denied access to the room via kitty lasers. We're switched to Bowser here. So this fight is actually a really big pain. You kind of use Stealthy to see where he's gonna spawn in. What is he doing, man? So I kind of use Bowser and Dudley here to figure out where he's going, and then you kind of want to use Dudley on him to. What is he doing, man? Oh, I kind of messed that up. So this is kind of messy because it is slightly RNG based. So, all in all, not the best fight I've ever had, but that's okay. It's really hard to get a good Francis, and the problem is if you mess up that first hit, it's really, you have to hit Francis. If you want to kill him in 4, you have to hit him 3 times with Dudley, and then you can just do 1 regular hit. And the ideal thing to happen is you hit him 3 times with Dudley, and then you do the last hit with just jumping on him, because it's just kind of the way that Francis' attack patterns work. Because it's always he'll attack you, and then once you hit him, he'll go for the lick attack, and then after the lick attack, he'll attack you again, and then after the attack, he'll go back to the lick attack, and on the lick attack, he'll always try to spawn behind you. It's kind of complicated, but that is the kind of just like the base you need to know. And the reason you kind of struggle on the last hit if you don't get the Dudley hit on the first 3 is that he spawns in so quickly. There's almost, unless you have like a perfect unless you jump at him at like the perfect time and Dudley at the perfect time, then you're not going to hit him. It's really frustrating. I've lost quite a few runs to that. But all in all, I honestly, the only reason, I probably would have broken even with my PB if I hadn't missed those gold bar clips. So now, we're in pre-chapter 4. We unlock the Pixel Carry, which is, Carry will be seeing a lot for the rest of the run.
Speed boost.
Yeah, so Carry, why don't you explain what Carry does for us, Flash?
Yeah, so Carry can actually, so Carry was used for, typically you were supposed to see that, oh, those spikes on the ground, you need something to get across them. Well, Carry was the solution to that. The Pixel lets you, jump on spikes, move a little faster. This includes with all characters, so, Bowser will move just as fast as Mario. But ultimately, we will just constantly keep out Carry, just because we like going fast.
Yes. Carry will also be used to enable a bunch of specific platforming techniques later on in the run.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, we are going to be switching away from Carry.
Bye, Carry.
You're running over here, throwing the gold bar, switching to Slim.
Slim.
Oh my goodness, not working.
Words are hard.
I don't like doing gold bar clips with this Wiimote, it sucks. So I just like to line myself up with that little pattern on the ground there. Jump on Carry and then just hold right.
Nice.
There is actually some sections where you'll have Carry out, but it's actually not faster to jump on Carry, because every single time you jump on Carry, it's a half second. And there's a decent amount of times where it's that half second is not worth it.
Doesn't save it, yep.
It might have been in particular situation that I had right there, but it's not exactly that big of a deal. A lot of times if it's not fast to jump on Carry, you won't lose more than half a second by jumping on carry.
Exactly.
Where's my water? Oh, it's right here.
He's gonna die.
Now we're gonna return pipe and enter chapter 4. I'm not gonna be switching to carry right now because it is actually just faster not to switch to carry than jump on carry. World record pace! Yo! You see that, chat? A minute 42 ahead into chapter 4. Woo! Something about Mario in this game is he can breathe underwater. Mario and TTYD, he can breathe in space. But you know what they can't do? Mario and TTYD can't breathe in water, and Mario and SPM can't breathe in space.
Interesting.
So, here we are. We have to get sent back, and we are not actually a minute 40 ahead. That would be pretty wicked, though. So now we're going to be doing that gold bar clip stuff again to get down to Merlin's house.
Let him know what's up. Hey! why did I almost die?
Oh
Why didn't
my!
you send me to space?
I almost just lost my gold bar.
Oh, that would've been scary.
Okay, scary's aside, and stupidity's aside, just gold bar clip down to Merlin's house. Open his house and be like, "What's up, bro?" Imagine he like walked out of his house while you're doing that. You just like fall on him. Ugh, excuse me. So pretty much we just tell Merlin, sorry, buddy. We couldn't go any farther because we got trapped in space and he can't breathe. So he tells me, okay, I gave this guy a space helmet, right, to this kid for his goldfish. So now we have to go track down the kid and his goldfish.
I have an important theory here.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so you said that Mario can breathe underwater, but he can't breathe in outer space, right?
Yes.
So this guy, he's got this fishbowl, and so the fish is clearly outgrown, and so he wants you to release the fish. So we go and do that, right?
Hmm.
So when you release the fish, do you see Mario dump out the water? No. There's still water in the fishbowl. Mario is a fish.
I never noticed this. This is crazy.
Watch. You're about to dump out the fish, or not dump out the fish. He's gonna jump out.
Chat, watch
There's
it.
still water in the helmet.
Yeah, where it is kind of like the water just apparently just, like disappears, and then there's an antenna on it. That's what I'm confused about. Does the water just turn into air?
Yeah, I don't know. My theory: Mario's a fish.
Or maybe
That's how you can breathe
hear
in
me out.
space.
Maybe the fish drinks the water.
Probably. Man, if this run were to get into SGDQ, I would love to see all the theories. Mario Fish confirmed.
For anyone in the chat, or for anyone watching on YouTube, drop your theories. Anyways, you'll notice those SOS messages in the air, or the space, dark, I don't know, in space, just appearing somehow. And pretty much if you follow them, you'll see a little sparkly thing, and there's a spaceship with this guy named Scorps in him. So this guy is kind of important to our quest here. He's going to lead us to an XP heart, pretty much. Kind of. There's this whole day, and he gains power. How it works, I don't know.
He just shoots lasers, I guess.
Anyhow.
We don't question it, we just roll with it.
Actually, I mean, yeah, we just flow with it, yeah. So, Squirps is going to be our... So, since we're in space and we can't really jump, we will be using Squirps as like a space gun. So I'm like a space cowboy. Only real ones we get the reference. So, he just shoots our little space lasers at whatever they get in our way. I actually probably don't want to pick up too many more points from here on out, but... You're just gonna walk right, just float on Carrie to the right. Carrie even floats faster than us too, which is kind of funny. So I did a little thing there called an animation skip. You'll notice that I didn't jump off Carrie. Typically, when you see me jump off Carrie, you'll see me do it in the air. But since we're kind of everywhere is kind of just air, and you move up and down and left and right, you have to kind of jump off Carrie before into these portals. Also, fun fact, this bottom portal saves like half a second. But yeah, you'll notice there I did miss the animation skip, so I did hop off Carrie. So there is, I think, 8 portals that you use typically, so... So there is a total of 8 chances. So each one of these only saves like half a second, but it is like...
Close that up.
You don't get punished for going for it. So you might as well do it. Just like that, 4-1 over. So 4-2, we're gonna see a very, very important trick come up. So you'll notice that I got a lot of points at the beginning of the run, but I'm still skipping over a lot of points. So usually by now you'd probably have like 200, 300,000 points, whatever. I'm still only at 75,000, roughly.
Just been speeding through the game, no time to level up.
Yeah. You may be wondering, well, how are you going to defeat later bosses faster? And that is an excellent question. So in this level, we will be grinding to just over 200,000 points. I can get anywhere to 220,000 if I'm lucky, but the idea is I just want to get to about 200,000. So in the next room, you'll see me. I'm going to be using Carrie to pretty much combo off a bunch of enemies, which will help me get a ton of points. And 200,000 works because every enemy's health is pretty much divisible by 10, so getting any more is actually not too helpful. But yeah, I'll just show you. It's kind of hard to explain, but just combo and get a bunch of points. Just as I hit these guys, I get like a lot of points. Oh man, that fuzzy almost completely screwed me, but As you can see, I got to 222,000 points. I'm very satisfied with that.
Dude, that was great.
If that fuzzy was slightly more to the right, I would have been fine, I think, because I think I had about 198,000. But it would have been a unfortunate minor time loss.
The nice thing about this as well, like, say Castle were to completely ruin this point grind, there is a section later. It's just after one of the boss fights, so it loses a little bit of time where he can point grind again. There are backups.
Yes, so I wouldn't be doomed if that were to happen. If I were to mess that up, it would just be like a depending on where I lose my combo. If I lose anywhere from if I lose anything past 120,000, it'll be at most like 20-30 seconds. Or well, compared to doing that, but hit me. Okay.
It's tragic on a world record pace run, but like in a marathon run, it's just it's really
not
a big deal.
Not a big deal. And overall, like you will save time over not doing it as long as you get above 120,000. Maybe you might not even need to get 120,000 for it to save time completely, but another thing is too is like if you mess it up, there's no point in trying to back it up right there because you just won't get enough from the combos.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep going on through the level.
Yeah. A big part of this game is kind of just letting go of those mistakes, because you can still get... Like, even this could theoretically still world record. This is not a bad run. But there'd just be a lot of things that have to go really, really well. That just probably won't.
Mm-hmm.
I actually... Oh, speaking of things that can go really well, I'm really looking forward to Pre-Chapter 7. There's a new method for a skip that was discovered quite a few years back, and I've never actually done it in a run, but it's really easy.
New method. He speaks humbly as if he didn't find it himself.
Yeah, it was a really awesome discovery. It's my first really major discovery. For a few reasons, because one, it saves time, and two, it's like makes the trick a lot more accessible to runners. But yeah, okay, so now we got Fleep. Yeah, nothing really awesome. I don't really have much to say about Fleep. Fleep isn't all that helpful. Besides, like, in the few places where she needs to be used. What's up, April? Thank you for the GL. Appreciate it. So that'll wrap it up for 4-2. Overall, pretty good 4-2. I made a few mistakes, but nothing, like, too crazy. I'm actually surprised I lost time to PB there. Next level, 4-3. Why don't you tell us about 4-3, Flash?
4-3, goodness gracious. This is oh, yeah. So this whole level revolves around Squirps is hungry. For some odd reason, he can like clone himself. Or no, sorry. Look, step back. First off, that shooting star is useful for a boss fight that we're gonna do later. One of the only turn-based fights in Super Paper Mario. But for some odd reason, all of the doors use Squirps as a keyhole. So, yeah, you'll see right here. You have to use Squirps in order to open up this door right here.
And it's very obvious to use Squirps because the hole is shaped like Squirps. Also, something really nifty there is that it's actually like really easy. So, because these doors kind of work kind of weirdly in space, if you just hold upright for some reason, it just insta puts it in, like frame 1. Puts it in.
Really
I
nice.
don't know why, but it works the same way on the spaceship too in 4-1. Yeah, so Squirps is going to be a big pain in our butts.
Yeah, he's hungry.
Very hungry. But before we can let him get too hungry, we're going to keep using him. So if you were to put Squirps in the door here, you can tell, oh, there's 2 holes. What does that do? Pretty much, he gets stuck there because he's too hungry to do anything. But because we know we can keep Squirps if we keep going this way, we're gonna head up here with Squirps. You don't necessarily need Squirps from this point, but it does make things around here just a little bit easier. that guy's a jerk, man.
He's bullying you.
It's a bad position, that's all. So we are going to go to this supermarket. Buy the cheapest chocolate. Big baby running. How are you gonna feed that Squirps? Well, I'll answer you that question really soon here. And you know what, I'll just answer it right now. That door you saw, Squirps is hungry, he gets stuck. I already told you that. So pretty much, you just talk to Squirps please at the door, and boom. But the funny thing is, and something that like really bothered me for a really long time, is that something you can do is you can feed Squirps any item in your inventory. And if you accidentally feed him the wrong item for whatever reason, he will spit it out and it is gone. Forever.
Forever. Your gold bar? Gone. Your shooting star? Gone.
That chocolate bar you've been saving for the last 3 years for a time just like this? Gone. So, the nice thing is it's just at the top of the inventory, so as long as you don't press any direction on your D-pad, you'll be fine. And now, it would be fine. It doesn't really matter, like, if he eats an item, it's not a big deal, as long as it's not, like, the gold bar. But it's so unlikely to happen unless, like, you'd actually have to try to do that. To really mess it up, so... With that, we are done 4-3.
Get your sour police ready, we're headed to the woe zone.
Whoa! Yeah, this music's a banger. And I find it really funny because I think in like the dialogue before this, it tells you that like, the woe zone is like people get lost and like never come back out of here ever again or something. So that's actually in-game lore, and it's just this really nice upbeat music. So this level is the biggest reason why we want 200,000 points at this exact moment. So there's actually... Nice. That was just a random double input that just happens sometimes. But there is 2 boss fights here. So one of the boss fights we typically used to do with Bowser, but because we have 200,000 points, it's so easily viable to do it with Mario and it still be faster. So we will be using Mario. And then the second boss fight is done with Squirps, so it doesn't really matter what character you have. But the boss has significantly high defense. And so actually, back in the old route, back before you actually even had 60,000 points here, you'd have to actually, if you didn't make it to 60,000 points, you pretty much will, there was 0% chance you could do that run, unless you had like a hot sauce or something, but... Pretty much the boss has such high defense that you can't actually do anything. Are you serious, dude? Guy.
He just wants a hug.
I didn't want the hug, man. Don't touch me.
Didn't need it.
But yeah, that's we'll get back to that. But here you're gonna notice I'm going into 3D here, and I really don't have to. But this is to lower my 3D bar for a trick coming up right here, known as John's chest pain, midair chest, John's cardiac arrest. So pretty much what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a Thudley jump with one little sliver of 3D left. Jump, home menu, hold up into this chest. And for some reason it just didn't work. But what this lets you do is open the chest in midair. I don't know why that missed.
Yeah, that was pretty close.
There we go. I think I just home menu too early, so it didn't work. Pretty much, you need to take damage while you're going into the roof. And Mario kind of, for whatever reason, when you take damage when going into a ceiling, Mario just like hangs onto the ceiling for a second. It's just one of the weird quirks of the physics engine.
Yeah. Saved quite a bit of time of backtracking and going all the way around.
Yeah, so even missing that once, I'm still saving over 30 seconds over not doing that. We actually might get to see another skip here. Ooh. Oh yes, gravity switch skip. So you pretty much jump off that guy, hit the gravity switch skip again. It is RNG whether you can get it like that or not, but it's still really cool to see me get that. And then right here, you kind of do like another version of John's chest pane. You jump from this door, then use throw on the chest. You can actually do this with locked doors too. I did miss it quite a few times, unfortunately, but still fast. So that kind of just skips going through the door and then just wrapping around. It doesn't save
And then backtracking.
much, but it does save a good chunk of time to make it worth it. So even if I were to miss that with throw a zillion times, if you take damage, you can do the same 3D damage thing, it's just significantly easier. You don't need to stealthy jump, and you don't need to, like, have significant timing for it. So with that, we're kind of done with the level of 4-4.
Very nice.
And now we're rolling up with the boss fight. With this guy, the Green Thunder, Mr. L. So, I don't know who this guy is, but, like, let's be honest, he has to be Waluigi, right?
Looks so familiar.
Who do you think he is, Flash?
Probably Toadsworth.
Toadsworth, interesting. Oh man.
Man, you are bullying him.
So, believe it or not, you actually can do that fight even faster than I just did. You can actually, if you land on him in like a really specific position, you can hit him 2 times without having to like hit the ground again, which is a large portion faster. I just didn't get it this time, unfortunately. And now we're in the second part. So usually you need to get 60,000 points so you actually can damage him at all. So you actually do 0 damage even with 60,000, but with this red chocolate bar you see. You'll notice I'm doing a lot more damage, so it just ups your attack by 1 pretty much. So by having attack already saved up, not only can I hit him before getting that chocolate bar, but I also do like 3 times as much damage as soon as I do get that chocolate bar.
Yeah.
So unfortunately that wasn't a great 4-4. Missed both the chest pane jumps or whatever. Had a slightly bad Mr. L, but overall, not terrible.
Oh.
With that, Chapter 4 is done.
Also, shoutouts to Squirps for having the Pure Heart the whole time.
And then just telling us to
not giving
die.
it to us.
Yeah. We had to bring him back to his mommy. Okay. Actually, we do have a little bit of downtime here. Just for the fun of it and entertainment of people watching, is that every chapter of Super Paper Mario actually has a theme based around love. I know that 2 is like the love of physical belongings. 3 is the love of friends. 4 is the love of is parental love. Chapter 7 is a parent's love to a child. 6, I don't know what the I don't know what chapter 6 is.
Hold on some forum post somewhere.
Probably. I think chapter 5 is like the love for one's kind. Or people or something. I don't really know. And then Chapter 8 is Romantic Love. I also don't know what Chapter 1 is.
Me.
Alright, which one of you Flatfoots did it? Which one of you Flatfoots killed my butterfly?
Oh no!
It was you, wasn't it, Flash? That all
I
innocent.
would
Oh,
never.
no.
R.I.P. Tippy.
So Tippy isn't actually dead. But now we're kind of tasked with finding the next heart pillar.
Yeah.
So next, it's pretty much like anything. Well, we've kind of gone all around flip side. So where do we go next? Well, the answer, well, will kind of flop you onto your side. So we're going to be doing something here called FSE, aka Flopside Early, and we are going to be going to the town of Flopside.
This strap was actually technically found by Hydro back in
18. That was 17 at least, I think.
2018? That sounds about right.
That was that. I think that was after the Discord was made that he found it.
Yeah, shortly after the Discord was made.
Yeah, so you still actually use Slim for that method. But it requires some like really hard, precise movements, and it was really only task only. But it was the first like big demonstration of an out of bounds clip leading somewhere that you could not access earlier on.
Yeah, it was really cool.
But now you can just do it with the gold bar clip, and significantly easier movement. So now, this is kind of, again, where another point of route convergence. If you didn't grab the HP plus, you would not be going into here. Actually, no, you would be. So I'm gonna sell that. Here's where it converges. Buy a Mighty Tonic. But only one. Not gonna hop on carrier.
Yeah, we used to buy a ridiculous amount of Mighty Tonics before, and the Mighty Tonics, in case you're curious, they double your damage for a certain period of time.
Yes. Which can allow, again, like I said earlier, can allow us to do really big damage to really strong opponents. The battle system in this game is absolutely busted, but I like it, one, because it's busted, but two, also because you can get really creative with it because of that. And I think that creates a lot of creative opportunities for anyone to mess around with. Dr. Welderberger there. So the reason we needed that many coins was to buy that pipe. That pipe will save us a large amount of minutes, so it is absolutely worth going slightly out of our way to pick it up. That will single-handedly allow us to go from flip side to flop side as fast as we want on this floor, on both sides. Now, we'll return pipe back up, see what's going on at the door.
Hopefully get our butterfly back.
Yes, Merlin will be waiting here for us. With Tippy. So, welcome to Chapter 5, Downtown of Craig. Now, Chapter 5 is one of my personal favorite chapters to play. I love the music, I love the gameplay, there's lots of cool tricks here. And there's a lot of please! Please! But we'll get to that. We'll get there. You gotta be patient, guys. Patience is important. But this is a speedrun, so let's not be patient. So you already see, we kind of spawn up in the sky here. It's a kind of a Looney Tunes moment. Mario's like, don't look down! Gulp. And then he just falls. And it kind of just looks like he was sent from the heavens above to guide these guys. And Mario does kind of save these guys, in a way. Saves them from themselves, and the flower dudes. Florosapiens. Which actually is a really clever wordplay to the word Homo sapiens, referring to earlier evolutions of humankind. And so these guys actually get possessed by the flower dudes, and they call them Florocragians, which I think is just really funny. It's a very Nintendo thing to do. So pretty much a bunch of these guys get kidnapped, and we gotta chase down these flower dudes to get them back.
Be right back.
So they always seem to just be one step ahead of us here. These guys kind of attack us to slow us down. You don't have to fight them. If you fight them, you do get a slightly different cutscene, but it does end in the same thing anyways. Running. Oh. Just gonna go through this door. Maneuver around some enemies here. Oh crap. So usually you use Peach for this jump, but with a precise 2 input and care, you can get across with Mario. So we'll hit these blocks, middle, right, left. It'll unlock this chest. So, technically speaking, if you did not know how to do this puzzle, you might get lucky. Play through just randomly hitting them, hitting the blocks. But it's highly unlikely that you would. So, usually you have to go back and just say please to this guy, to this one, Craigian, or just Craig, the Cragnon, and say please like 15 times, and he'll finally tell you the code, and then you have to come back here and say, do it again, get the code for those 3 blocks. But, using a skip called Block Puzzle Skips with gold bars, you can, and or Thubly Jumps, you can just skip right over that wall. Now, enter 5-2. This is kind of where the backup grind was, and this is actually where you used to do the point grind back in the day, before 4-2 grind was found. So this is actually one of the only speedruns of this game that you'll see that doesn't have this particular quirk, and it's the jumping off the coconuts from these squigs or squogs over here. You can jump off the coconuts to combo up a bunch of points, and combining that with a few hits from other enemies, you can level up pretty fast here. I'm not making it, okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back. But yeah, 5-2 grind is also the backup for if you miss 4-2 grind. It's also like fairly easy compared to 4-2 grind, if you want my opinion. Now we're gonna do something called an FLC.
I love this trick.
Pretty much, you just use Fleet there, and slightly. I don't even remember what direction I moved there. I think it was left.
Yeah, it was left.
Yes, left. And then you use Fleep, and the way Fleep works is she kind of like flips you back into 2D in like a different way than you would if you were to use the A button. And we will be using this to exploit like a few different skips here. But that's just the first one to pick up that Mighty Tonic that's slightly farther away.
Dude, that Mighty Tonic is literally all the way across the room. Like, it is crazy that you're able to just, like, use an FLC in order to like, pick up an item that far away. It's so cool.
Yeah. So just to clarify, FLC stands for Fleep Ledge Cancel. But you don't really use Fleep you don't really do a Fleep Ledge Cancel, they just kind of just use Fleep. It just kind of makes sense to call it an FLC.
Yeah, because it's basically the same mechanics. It's just, we typically use it on a ledge to access something earlier.
You'll be seeing that in the next 2 levels, particularly in 5-4, for the second biggest time save in the entire run. So we'll be fighting Ochunks again. This guy is, for all intents and purposes, way easier than he ever was. Because now we have Bowser, and it's really easy just to get him from like a range. We don't have to combo off him to do a bunch of damage. Of course, I messed up the fight a little bit, but that's fine. So easy fight. There's actually a really funny thing here that if you just play as Bowser and breathe fire in this room, you'll notice that you'll hit something invisible, and it's like an invisible stone buzzy. It's really weird, but it's really cool. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm gonna try it. No, it didn't. Okay. I'm not exactly good at this trick. It's just called Stone Tablet Early. It saves like 2 seconds.
It's that.
It pretty much just makes that stone tablet spawn without having to walk all the way around the Yoshi statue. Hey, I got Castle SR jump. It's pretty much just to jump over that gap without flipping back to 2D. It's a pretty hard gap to clear. Oh, wow. The hardest part of 5-2, man! Climbing these thingies! Dude! Okay, those things suck to climb. Anyhow, I climb up this really, really long ladder.
A Wi-Fi ladder.
Place them in stone, water, fire. And yeah,
typically
earthquake.
in the English versions of this, when you get Kudge, he has you scream a message. This was like previously something that we've offered as like an incentive. You can say whatever you want, but it is in Japanese.
Yeah, it'd be
So
cool.
we just scream.
It'd be cool if we had like a Japanese phrase we could put out. I actually might do a little bit of research into this if this run gets accepted, so I can do something. I mean, we could have it as like a donation incentive, but I probably would just have it just say like GDQ in Japanese. Oh. That kind of wraps it up for 5-2. It was an okay segment for the most part, but a few mistakes. So 5-3 is another incredibly long level, but it does have some of the best sections in the game for a few reasons. Because 1, the best character in all of Super Paper Mario is here, and 2, well, you'll see. Craigley Ho! I introduce you guys Flint Craigley. This guy's like the streamer of Super Paper Mario, pretty much. His own, I don't know what his T-show is called, but it stars him and his camera crew. I actually don't know. I actually don't remember. I actually should do some research into this lore. Pretty much him and his camera crew explore places, I think. Pretty cool dude. But yeah, we're gonna be... There's still that locked door back there. Unfortunately, we do not have the key for that yet. If we could get the key early, that would easily save like 5 minutes in this level. Probably even more. We're gonna get this fast flower up here in this block. But just to maneuver through this room easy in 3D. I'm sure you could probably do it in 2D and it still be fast, but it's ridiculously hard if it is possible.
So in this room right here, if you're able to like skip talking to Flint Cragley, there's just straight up like a brick wall that prevents you from like jumping in this mine track right here. Oh, P-break percent, I guess. He's gone. Is he gonna make it, chat?
I'm back. Yeah, but this is easily the best cutscene in the game. Because of one, it's a minecart, and two, this music.
Jamming.
Yeah, so here we'll see the first usage of an FLC in the run, pretty much. Kind of weird to explain how I align it, but I think we'll far up on this. Be slightly on the ledge, just so Mario. It's kind of like the same setup as. Hi. There we go. It's like the same setup you use for tree skip, using the pipe. I just kind of suck and am a little bit rusty.
FLCs are so cool.
They are really awesome.
Let's go! I'll have a dance competition.
That's my dance for you.
It was beautiful.
Submission watcher. Thank you for your time.
I gave him a 10.
Yes! So now, for this room, it's the same thing, right in the minecart. It's a little bit slower, but we also have to flip into the 3D here. Otherwise, so the minecart kind of like turns. And if you're not in 3D, it won't turn. And I actually lost a world record paced run to this like 3 months ago. It was really bad.
Oh no.
It's kind of the moment I learned to not be on my phone all the time when I speedrun.
I think I've lost a few runs to this.
Here we'll actually see a kind of interesting use. We don't see too many corner flips in runs these days, but right here, if you just push against the wall with carry, you would tap, just hold down, and then once you're done holding down, just hold right and then tap 2, and you just get up there so cleanly.
It's so fun.
And it saves like 2 seconds. Now, you could do it faster without carry, but it's worth the half a second to save the 2, rather than like the 2.5. And you don't have to flip on the way back. Now we're back. Unfortunately, no more minecarts to ride this run. There is technically one, however, it is a little bit slower. something kind of funny is you kind of just like go through the putrid Piranha's cloud there for some reason. I don't know why it works like that, but it does.
Weird hitboxes, I guess.
Right here, you can also like jump on this guy once he falls to kick him at these guys. It doesn't necessarily save time, but if you were slightly lower on points, it'd be nice. It is a free like 1,000 points.
Yeah. You have to wait for the elevators anyway, so
Yeah.
doesn't lose time either.
Craigley Ho! So these guys are gonna yap on for a little while. And if we're gonna remember why I'm saying Craigley Ho instead of like Flint Craigley, because Craigley Ho is this guy's catchphrase. So we will be using Peach here for like one time. So if you jump off carry while you're falling and use Peach's parasol, you actually keep the carry speed for some odd reason. I think it actually works with like every other character too, where you kind of continue with your faster momentum if you're not going up. It's pretty nifty, could you say so myself?
Nice little skip.
Yeah, so you just kind of fly over the minecart. It doesn't really save too much time, but it is... Actually, the only reason it saves time is because in that room, when you fall down that room to get down to the key door or whatever, you don't have to... What am I trying to say? You don't have... Instead of waiting, you switch to Peach, and then that kind of skips that minecart animation. It only saves like 2-3 seconds, but it's a cool trick. Craigley Ho!
Craigley Ho! In the meanwhile, Castle's literally just going to skip the entirety of the longest section in Super Paper Mario.
Yeah, this level has some history. Pretty much. Like, this skip in this room saves pretty much 5 minutes, which is crazy. So usually you'd have to go... Do you want to like explain... hold, actually, I'll explain scanner skip, and I'll kind of explain what you would have to do if you didn't do scanner skip.
Sure.
So pretty much, to do scanner skip, you use a gold bar clip, and... Oh, just like a perfect setup. You sleep until Mario's shadow disappears, then you just press 1 and then up the next frame. I'm actually really surprised I got that. I thought my position was kind of bad, but first try.
So cool.
Use a Fleep Ledge Cancel to open the door. So usually you'd have to get past the scanner trigger, but you just kind of, since you're using Fleep, and you open the door. You open the door before you can hit the trigger, pretty much.
This skips a ton, by the way. This skips going all the way out, a super long cutscene with a pixel. It skips an entire boss fight, and then backtracking all the way to the beginning of the level in order to go through the scanner with the Floater Sprout on.
Which again is like 5 minutes. So before scanner skip was discovered, actually, there was a skip called Dottie skip, which fundamentally did the same thing, but you'd skip the whole getting Dottie section, but you'd still have to fight O Cabbage, aka O Chunks. See, and that's the unfortunate part about the skip, is that we don't get to see O Chunk go, cabbage, asparagus. He just starts screaming vegetables at you, and it's really funny.
This is why I eat my vegetables. This is because I
Oh,
want to be as
chunks.
fast and strong as O Cabbage.
Love that guy. That's my dream bod is the O-Chunks muscular bod. Oh, that actually look big, bro. Oh my goodness. So Crocus here.
Oh, the gains are working out.
Go to the gym, y'all. So Crocus here. Flip twice. Switch to Bowser. Lovely when he opens up. So Crocus has 50 HP. So now that I've hit him with Bowser, I can hit him with Mario with Studley, and I get the last hit I need while right as he opens up again. So that was actually like a really good 5-4. Like there was like that is the ideal 5-4 besides like one or two things. But pretty much the reason I switched to Mario is because, one, I don't have to switch to Mario later, and two, Crocus moves while I switch to Mario, progressing his stage a little bit farther forward. Frankly, ho! Then we realized that we just... So I actually thought that you actually murder him, but you don't. If you come back here in post-game, Crocus is here and alive and well.
Yeah, he's totally fine. I think they at this point they like agree like I think there was just like a misunderstanding. Like the Kragians were like throwing trash in the water, and the plants didn't like that. So
Yeah.
they cleaned up the river, and now they're all buddies.
So Flint Craigley is like, he's like the Mr. Beast of the of the Kragnons.
He's kind of a silly goose, but we still love him.
He does fix this whole environmental problem. So you gotta respect that.
Oh, absolutely.
Now we have another little bit of downtime here. Chapter 6, Inner Chapter 6 is pretty simple. It's pretty much now it's just go find the heart pillar and you do like one gold bar clip. Very beginning here, but
Easy game.
kind of get to see a little bit more of the Flopside world and its differences.
Maman.
So pretty much just gonna gold bar clip out. This is Dottie, but you'll be able to use Dottie one time in the entire run. Land on there, jump on carry, go through the pipe. Pretty average Super Paper Mario speedrunning moment, if I do say so myself. So right there, I kind of just like made it so that I'm gonna take 3D damage like right as I'm getting to this block. A lot of I haven't really mentioned this too much, but managing your 3D bar is really important because you want to. There are certain spots where you just don't want to take damage and fall off carry. It's not really too important until you hit like post chapter 3, but there is a few places before then that can kind of suck. Actually, my gold. This is really good. Yeah, so you break that block, heart pillar appears. Boom. Don't forget this is a children's game.
Oh goodness.
So actually, for commentators, this actually is like a nice section because it gives us a little bit of time to just like take a second to not rehabilitate. That's not the right word. That was almost a gold. Gives us some time to breathe. Got no more water left. That's too bad. Let's get some old-fashioned tap water whenever I get a chance. So welcome to the Sammer Kingdom. So Tippy will point out to you right away here that the Void is a much bigger here than we've seen it anywhere else. So keep that in mind. See this guy running away, and we're going to be starting one of the most crazy parts of Super Paper Mario, story-wise at least. We are being challenged to a duel by 100 Samurais.
We ain't got time for this.
Oh. So we are going to have to fight as many of these guys as it takes to get that pure heart. And spoiler alert, it is not 100, dude.
Could you imagine if we actually had to beat all 100 of these in the speedrun?
That'd be so crazy.
I feel like we tried to do some like weird shenanigans with like over leveling if we had to actually fight all of these guys.
Probably. So, we have to start fighting these guys. We don't know how many we're gonna have to fight, but we're gonna fight them. Well, actually, I know how many you have to fight. It's 20, but technically only 18. So, our strategy for these guys is pretty much gonna be jumping on like the little like top corner of their hitbox. You'll notice them kind of hitting him through the sword. It's not necessarily a hard strat, but it is really easy to mess up and easy to take damage. And this is kind of like the big reason I think I probably should have picked up the Shroom Shake. If I do this in a marathon, I will be picking up that Shroom Shake. Just for safety here.
The Shroom Shake back in 1-1.
Yes, thank you for clarifying. You'd also technically pick up the Primordial Fruit in 5-2.
Yeah, you got plenty of healing options if needed.
Yeah, but for some of these guys, like with the mazes, I know it's like significantly harder, I'm pretty sure, to hit them in the corner just because their weapon is bigger. So I just kind of like to play these guys safe because I'm pretty sure the guy with the maces also do just more damage. So just for safety and just for consistency, it is worth to sometimes just play it a little bit safer. This is actually, so the strat I'm doing is Bowser carry, but there is another strategy where you use Mario and Kudge that's a pretty large amount slower. But it is significantly easier. Or kind of easier, I don't know. I didn't like doing it personally, so I just kind of never really picked it up. I saw Bowser carry on my first run of this game, and I'm like, that's what I'm doing. But Bowser carry actually wasn't really faster until we had proper... It was me and Zach who kind of came with proper strats for these fights here. So a big reason we need HP here is not necessarily because of the Samurais, because it is pretty easier, or at least easy for me, to get through all these Samurais without losing like all 30 of my HP. But if we are anywhere below 5 HP, it's pretty much an automatic minute loss. What? Well, that's so stupid. Okay, so there's this strat you can do where you fire the guy and then hop on carry, but the bomb hit me in the cutscene. Oh, that's bad. Oh,
That's ridiculous.
yeah, these ninjas are really, really annoying. And
In every category.
they're ridiculous. You won't know the pain until you run pit percent, though. Oh, man. There's pretty much a 50-50 chance those guys turn into a bomb at any given point that they're hit. So there's a chance that you just never kill it. Now that chance is really low, but
Not impossible.
so unfortunately we've lost a large amount of health so far due to some mistakes and some unluckiness, but we only have a handful of fights left. I want to get this strat on this one. At least. Dude, are we serious? Are we serious? Dude, get out of my face.
The ninjas are sabotaging the run.
This probably wouldn't actually happen. I don't think I've ever gotten this unlucky so far, so having one guy push you but having another guy explode you is so awful. Luckily, that should be the end of the torment. Maybe. The problem is with those guys in particular here is that your main strategy is using Bowser with fire to jump on carry afterwards. I would like to get to show off the strat here, but not a 100% chance that I do. For this guy, you just kind of run into him. I'll do it here. Yeah, so during the fire animation, you can jump on carry while he's dying, and you won't get forced off carry after the fight. I did lose 3 HP to that, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I do have a lot of HP still, now that I think about it, but as long as I don't get too messed up here. Gotta jump. I'm gonna level up before I even reach Mimi, dude. That's weird. Yeah, so my levels are actually fine here. Actually, my level up on this guy. I did not realize how high my level was. Normally, you wouldn't level up here, but I have so many points that it just so happens that I'll level up after one more fight. So I'll be at full HP and it won't matter anyways. So here I'm going to switch to Mario on the 18th fight. So if you remember, I said you only have to do 18 fights and not 20. So pretty much you do the same lineup you did in 5-3 for the corner clip. Just carry and you just breeze through the fight. You don't even have to do it. Or that was actually fight 17, but this is fight 18. So we do fight 18 and fight 19. And this is so I am weirdly loving this level up. So this is the benefit of getting a good 4-2 grind, is you could have a chance to level up here or slightly later. So we'll just use Mario Kart for this fight. That's pretty much like the basis of the Mario Kart strategy today. Touch, jump with Mario. Now we have one more fight to do it on, and so the reason it works on fights 17 and 20 is because they have cutscenes directly after them that aren't linked to the fight. So I can just go onto the stage. So this one right here actually saves like a minute and a half for some junk. Maybe not a minute and a half, but it saves a lot. That just literally like just didn't save right there. You used to be able to do with a gold bar clip, but it was the corner clip was discovered soon after. And I actually, I do like the corner clip a little bit more. It came out of my mouth. Just like that. That was a pretty good and solid 6-1 for the most part. This would be, I think, a high M2X segment, which isn't, it's not the best, but it's not terrible. Like that, we get past the 25th gate, hit Star Block, and we are out of here.
Nice. Only 75 more to go.
So here we will be entering on the 26th gate, but instead of a Samurai, we're going to see King Samur here instead. So he's going to tell us, oh, the beer art's on the stage, go take it in this tiny little chest. Which turns out to be a bomb. Nintendo predicting current humor with me and my friends, that's crazy. Open there for your reward, and it's a bomb. We're gonna hop on carry immediately. And then just fire, fire, jump. And you could fire again if you wanted to on the third hit. I just like jumping. But just like that, you have a boss fight done in. You could theoretically, I know there was like an old strat I did where you could balance on Meanie and do it in like 2.16 seconds or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, most people have the hardest time with that boss fight, but like this is easily one of the easiest boss fights in the speedrun.
If not the easiest, like. And it's like, even if you mess it up, you'll at most lose like 5 seconds. If that, like 5 seconds is really pushing it.
Yeah.
Cause she'll after that, no matter what, the first thing she'll do is always go up. Like up to the near the ceiling to get her like circle rupee attack ready, but you can just get her in the middle of it and it's no big deal. And just like that, world go boom.
No.
Oh.
So we're sent back to Flipside, and I think this might be the coolest turn in any Mario story that's ever happened, where the world just gets destroyed. So now we got kicked out of the world, so now it's kind of like, what are we going to do? So Tippy says we have to go back in there. So now when we re-enter, we are met with a blank page. There's nothing left of this world anymore. Everything from here has been destroyed, and I think, just to nerd out a little bit here for a second, this is a crazy twist in a Mario story. Like, this is like grim. And I remember as a kid being really scared of this place, and you can just see like the rubble and like the ominous music alongside it. Now all we can do is just keep going until we find the Pure Heart. And here comes the hardest part of the level. Oh, we did it. Okay. Whew. Oh, the run's good, guys. There's a lot of holding right.
What is it called? Rubble skip?
Yeah. It's just a lot of again, like it's a lot of holding right. Not really a whole lot else to it. again, like, this is like a crazy twist of Mario story, man. The music's a banger. The atmosphere with the music just bangs and bangs and bangs, bro. Like, I love it. So once I see that, once sticking out of the ground, I just kind of look. I'm gonna switch to Dudley before the upcoming fight. So I see Pebble number 1, Pebble number 2, 1, 2, 3, full jump, jump off carry, switch to Dudley, and it's like perfectly there. So here comes the reason why I need 5+ HP. So running into Robot L-type here will make me take 2 damage. But taking this 2 damage allows me to clip right through him. Hold 1. Do that. Wait a second. Take damage again. So now we just kind of get the stone pure heart and end off the chapter. Now we see Mr. L. He's like, "Oh, I got defeated," and then Dimentio is just like, "Yo, what's up?" And then in classic Dimentio fashion, puts him in a box, or like, puts him in a box, and then says, "Guess what, buddy? You're dying."
Oh my gosh. It's bizarre that you just casually killing off a character, no big deal.
Yeah, Dimentio, like this game. If you can't love this game for the speedrun, you have to love it for the story, man. It's just so good. There's just so many cool concepts in this game and funny concepts. This game will bring out every one of your emotions. So now, this is actually the only pre-chapter section where you kind of stay as Bowser. You could technically do a gold bar clip down, but I just like a second, and I don't see it to be worth it. I mess it up one time. It's dumb time loss. Go talk to Merlin and show him this pure art. So Dimentio just kills us, kills all of us, which is pretty awesome. If you thought killing off one character was crazy, look at Carrot killing off 4. What's up, Mix Pimp? Hope you're doing well. So now we're here, we have no pixels, no Tippy, so now we kind of got to figure out what's going on. That's a character named Lovebee. She'll be important later. For now, we're just gonna keep going and figure out what's kind of going on here. Pretty much, this is the underwear. This is where all the dead characters in the Mario universe go.
All the Goombas that Mario jumped on.
Yeah.
This is where they are.
I don't think they necessarily die, though. 'Cause you can get slammed in the Glitz pit in PYD and not die, but your HP dropping is
Facts.
What we should have done is we should have just, like, to get here early, we should have just died in 1-1. Not even. No, we should have just done game over percent. Died from Merlin killing us all, and we would have been here faster. Well, actually, technically, the canonic ending for that is the world ends because you don't go save it. So, I guess 1-1. Anyway, she's gonna tell us to go find Lovebee again, even though we just saw Lovebee. So now we gotta do a few things. Takes the PR telling us she's gonna fix it pretty much. Give us the skip. So we're coming up on a trick called Water Switch Skip. So there's actually, you have to do it twice. Kind of like the gold bar clip in 3-4 to do carry skip. That we don't have a way of getting out of bounds without a gold bar, right? Or do we? So there's actually something really cool you can do here. So you just flip into 3D, put up there, set up your 3D meter. I gotta do it on that like tree line thingy that Mario goes behind. You open this door. Right as you go into it, I'm gonna flip into 3D and then swim into this corner. So I kind of messed it up, but there is a good backup for this. But normally you'd clip out of bounds. Just like that.
Nice, dude. I actually found this trick on accident during a hundo run.
Oh my gosh, dude, I did it.
Yeah, somebody was joking about where's water switch skip. And then, like, literally 2 seconds later, I took damage and clipped through the ground. There's no way, like...
Yeah, it's crazy
so
how...
lucky.
We gotta understand about this game is a lot of things are found by accident, and when a lot of things are found by accident, they're usually found by Flash for some reason. The second method of Dottie skip was actually found by Flash.
Yeah, like, what? I'm only good at finding things on accident.
So now we just gotta find Luigi. Wonder what he's doing here. I got kidnapped.
Yeah, how did he get here?
I guess instead of doing anything, they just kind of killed him. So now you guys are going to get to see the new method of water switch skip on the way back. So this is I love this because it's such an easy thing to do. You just run into this corner, and boom, you go out of bounds. It's so awesome.
That's so cool. Ah, it's so free. I love it.
Then I just kind of swim. I did let Mario sink pretty far down. Dude, where's Mario? Lost a little bit of time to not swim in there.
That's so cool.
So pretty much, yeah, free. So as long as you can get the first cut, you'll always be able to get the second cut for free. Or cut clip. Actually, so I actually found that doing something slightly different, where I kind of looked at a funny out of bounds clip you can do for the pit, and I kind of just applied it in the same, like a really similar scenario. Because if you notice, there's like a bit of a corridor you can go into. In corridors, in any corridor in the game, you can use the clip out of bounds. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so we can talk to Lovely here. And she's like, if you know me, what's my name? Luckily for us, it's always the first option. And now we just gotta head back to Queen JD. So actually, a cool thing about this chapter is it's based off... Is it Roman or Greek mythology?
Oh goodness gracious! I think is it Greek?
I want to say it's Greek.
Like JD's is Hades.
Yes, something like that.
The River of Styx. The river of Twigs.
Yes,
Oh.
that makes sense.
The Underhands or the Lost Souls that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. And then you meet Cerberus later.
Yes. So now, after finding Lovely, JD's gives us back to Pure Heart, and we are now going back home. That's actually the first time that water switch skip has ever been pulled off in a run. Or a 90% run.
Hi.
Now we're back on the flip side. Unfortunately, we do not have Peach and Bowser back yet. And we will not be getting Peach back.
Yeah.
Just for the safety of this mission, I'm going to save right here. So even if I were to do a marathon run on JPBC, I would be saving a lot more. I kind of know like all the spots where you can crash at this point because I've hit all of them.
Yeah, dude, I think we're pretty home free.
But again, just to be safe, you know, I'll save once again in 7-1. Just to be safe. It's not like this run's going to PB or anything, but... I do want to guarantee that I finish this run. On top of this mission, I am actually having fun. So, you know, it is a good time out here. This is actually like a really good run for the most part. Since chapter 4, I haven't made too many mistakes. It's been mostly just like an FLC or two. And some bad
This has been a
RNG.
really good run.
Yeah, so if all things go considered, I actually could get a 348 this run, which would be really cool. A 348 would be like really, really awesome to see in a marathon run, but I don't think it would happen. I think my estimate will probably be, I'll probably set my estimate to a 355. Just to be like, just to play it safe, but... So now we're going to 7-1. And look at that. Doesn't that sound familiar?
What?
Anyways, we're back to the underwear.
You said
You said underwear!
Oh yeah.
So I am going to hit this fountain to get full HP really quickly. And you may be running, but Castle, you're so good at this game. How could you ever need full HP? Well, I'll tell you that there is a very awesome boss fight coming up in 7-2 that has not ended runs before, but has
And some of mine.
they have ended in catastrophe. They haven't ended any of my runs. That's the point I'm trying to make.
It does a lot of damage.
Now we're gonna talk to Queen JDZ. I'm like, hey, we're looking for pure hearts, even though I don't know how she didn't get it the first time we came around with a broken pure heart. I have a few questions, but it's okay if they don't get answered. Now we're just gonna head in this door. Probably not faster to hop on Gary there, but who cares? So 7-2, the Sealed Doors 3. So Chapter 7 has a lot of big levels here. And this level is big because, well, one, it's one of the longest levels in the game. And yeah. So we're gonna be doing some fun movement here. Oops. Meet Door Guy the First. So these guys will always quiz you on the same questions in the same order. And so the answer for this guy is always the first, and then the next two times it's the second two question, or second two answers. So we're gonna talk to these guys, because they got a lesson in this room, so we can fight the dude, the evil monster that's in. And you may be wondering, well, who is this evil monster? It's Bowser. Now he thinks that that Mario and Luigi are hiding Peach from him for some reason. So now we gotta beat the crap out of them. Ow. See what I mean? That's the reason I dealt 8 damage. It's a lot of damage. Ow. All things considered, not a bad fight. Fortunately, I got hit with fire twice, but...
Oh yeah.
Still, like, honestly, like, I got pretty decent RNG there. You didn't jump too much. That's gonna give us the key. So the fun thing about 7-2 is that you have to run through this level a ridiculous amount of times. So the first room you have to go through 3 times, and this room, which is a longer room, you have to go through twice. 9, 10, 11, 12. 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. On the 39th, you just run to the left. You can tell, you can be sure it's the 39th if it's the one on the left. Oh, I feel good and I look good. This one's the same as the last guy. Where it's the third option, then the second option, and then the rest of the first. Which admittedly is really, really awesome because it means that you don't have a chance of double inputting when doing a buffered input. So, remember when I said you had to do these rooms multiple times? Well, you get sent back here to get this lady's diet book. Alright? So this demon, funny wordplay on demon. It's D, it's just the letter D, then men. Now, it's the same thing as before, where you just climb the room again. 40 stairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 11, 14. Oh, man. Ah.
He's puppy guarding.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So for anyone wondering how you can get to the stairs, the dry bones on the right is always on stair 32, and the odd numbers are always on the left. That is how I got at those stairs.
I think what was just counted 7 after the last dry bones is what I used to do. I don't know if it's exactly 7, but it was some specific number.
Yeah, well, no, it's on the 7th. When you hit the 7th one, you go to the left again, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, he sniped me. If I didn't jump, I might have actually.
Oh, so close.
Now we see Door Guy the Third, which will be bring us through something a little different than a quiz, but a battle with these underchomps. So we'll be using our shooting star here. Wait, I remember you can menu up 3 or down 3, it does not matter, and then it's just the bottom automatically. Unless you have the shroom shake. So, now we're done 7-2. Flash, why don't you explain 7-3 for us?
Oh my goodness. So 7-3 is like one of the epitome of like vertical levels. If you know what that is, typically vertical levels are like you just go up and up and up and up and up, and if you fall, you usually fall all the way back down. Well, typically, so this is where you're supposed to re-get Peach. we started with Mario, we found Luigi, we have Bowser, and this is where Peach is. So basically, you're supposed to find Peach here, but we're not gonna do that because that takes time, and I know we're speedrunning, so we're gonna completely not go get Peach. Well, the issue with that is Peach is needed in order to spawn this cloud, Cyrus. Cyrus doesn't show up. Or, is that correct? He
Yes,
just doesn't,
he doesn't show up at all once you get Peach.
He's like not even there unless you have Peach, just because of your sequence position. So Cyrus is needed to get to the top of the level. There's really no way you can get up there, but the level's still loaded, and so if you might be brainstorming a little bit by now. You already know that we have basically a trick where we can essentially fly or double jump. Well, we can chain Thudley jumps over and over and over and over again in order to gain essentially infinite height. Now, what makes this so difficult is doing Peach Skip or jumping up these clouds. It's essentially 60 Thudley jumps. It's a ridiculous amount. And so Castle's gonna chain 60 frame perfect inputs in a row in order to skip Peach. And I think it saves around 2 to 3 minutes if done well.
For the record,
Yeah.
if I mess up a Thudley jump, it's not the end.
No.
There is
No, you can still
checkpoints
catch up.
and little breakpoints.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things where like if you miss one, you have to do another one to like make up for the one that you just missed. So
However-
it's
Keep going.
it's not easy for beginner runners to do this trick. This is usually one of the tricks that most people don't like or choose to opt out of.
Yeah, fun fact, my gold is actually 5 years old. It is my oldest gold by far. I got this during my marathon run at the Benelux Speedrun Gathering, so...
Dang, that's actually really impressive.
You were there when that happened, you remember that?
I don't. Oh, now I'm gonna have to watch the clip again.
It should be pinned...
Really,
I think it's still...
I feel like I would remember this.
It should be pinned in clips and vids in the SPM server.
Let me see if I can find that.
But yeah, this is gonna take some focus here, so I'm just about there, so well, I'm just gonna lock in for this.
Yep, I'm gonna mute until you're done.
Alright, so we climb up here. Now we just start climbing. Oh man, I'm chugging here. Alright, not my... Hold on. There we go. Not my best Peach skip, but that's alright. This is just a slightly below average Peach skip, which is fine. I am kind of rusty still, so...
That was still really good.
Yeah, I will take that. That's missing again. I'm done trying this stupid jump. Or am I? No, I'm getting it. Yeah, there we go. You can just make that jump with carry, it's really hard. But yeah, if you take away that time loss from the jump, I really only lost like 40 seconds to PB there. My PB has a really good one.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
So that right there is like, it's one of the most intense skips in the game by far. I think my beginning was really bad, but I think like the second half was pretty alright.
Came through. Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, again, that is like literally one of like the hardest tricks in the game left. Like we've done a really good job of like taking all of our current strats and finding so much better methods that are typically even faster than their original method. But like I said earlier, if we could manage some type of like jump storage, holy cow. Just completely fly through all of Peach Skip, and that would be so crazy.
Yeah, Peach Skip has literally not changed since its original discovery, so...
No. Yeah, lots going on there.
But yeah, once you get past it, it's not bad. And the nice thing about that is that you're no longer allowed to thuddly jump in any further part of the run. All jokes aside, but so we will be having more thuddly jumps come up here, but they'll save more time for a significant amount less, quite literally 10 times less.
Yeah, goodness gracious. This is literally, like, the skip that saves the most time out of, like, any skip in the entire game.
Run, yeah. Even that little 2 thuddly jumps, or 3 thuddly jumps right there saves, like, a minute and a half on its own. And that was only, like, again, 3 thuddly jumps, which you can do it into. Oh, meet Rainbow Bridge skip. So, just for the price of 4 good thuddly jumps, let's see. 2, 3. Oh.
Gravity.
3, 4. Okay. Make it. So, that was kind of bad. That was awful. But, that right there saves over, like, 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That skip's going around the entire level, getting all the orbs.
And building the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah. Starting to get really tired too, so it's been a long day. I've been up for 12 plus 15 hours at this point.
Dang, dude. Got back from working out too.
Yeah, popped out work at 7 in the morning, got up at 3, went to the gym at 4.
Oh no, and you're about to do one of the hardest boss fights in the entire game.
Oh yeah, the hardest boss fight. You know, this boss is probably one of the longer boss fights in the game too.
Takes over like 3 hours.
And you can die. I actually have died here in a run once. It was really embarrassing. I think, to be fair, it was a D-Rust run, but I do not intend on dying here again. Ooh, I actually might be able to get a sub 350 this run if I play really good. I don't think so though. I'll be lucky if I do. I lost a ton of time here. So you just do this and then... Oh, I messed up. That's fine. Yeah, so that was the hardest boss fight in the game. As you saw,
I
I
messed up.
definitely didn't shred through him in about 3 seconds once I got on top of his head.
Yeah. I don't know why they designed him like that. I've seen so many casual runners or players do that exact same thing. Like they use Luigi and then like
Yeah,
jump on his
that's
head
what I
and
thought you were
then boom,
supposed to do
he's
with
dead.
Luigi. Like,
Yeah.
I think it would have been really cool if you fought him in like a cool like sky platform. That would have been cool. Instead of just this
That
random
would be
like
kinda
just
cool.
room with nothing in it. That's just really small for him. It's actually it was actually really something funny that happened during a randomizer the one time, where I ended up finding Bone Chill in the room with the Megastar in 1-1, and if you get the Megastar, you can crush literally any enemy in the game, including Bone Chill.
Oh my gosh.
So I literally just ran into him and he fell off the screen. It's such a good clip.
Oh, that's so iconic. Poor guy's just a huge pushover.
So this right here is easily the longest section of tech smashing in the game, and we're all just kind of thinking, Lovey's really annoying. Can she please just turn into the pure heart already?
Give us the pure heart!
Pure heart now. They keep yapping on about some junk. So we got the final pure heart, finally. We're almost into chapter 8 here. So there's not a whole lot going on in pre-chapter 8. Necessarily, there will be a skip right at the end of pre-chapter 8, but I'll you know when we get there. For now, it's just tech smash, go to the heart pillar. If you haven't noticed it by now, the flop side pure heart pillars will mirror exactly what flip side does, pretty much. We will be going to where the chapter 4 heart pillar was, but its counterpart in flop side. And my hands hurt. Just because we are kind of just in a downtime where there's not much to explain. I did some I need to get lifting gloves, so I keep hurting my hands doing trap bar deadlifts.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure how much I put on there. I actually put on a decent amount, I think. 90 plus 50, and the 40's probably about 180 pounds. Oh, I saw the leg there and I thought I crashed.
Oh no!
Fine. Everything's fine.
Oh man, the copium.
In case it isn't obvious, there is internal trauma. We had to talk to Merlin's lovely counterpart, Norim. Fitting, because we will be doing a skip with Nolrim called Nolrim Cutscene Skip. Pretty much do a gold bar clip. It's kind of like the same thing we did earlier for that gold bar clip in pre-chapter 6 for Merlin cutscene skip, except we just kind of like we'd hang on there and just flip back to 2D and walk to the door, hold up. And pretty much you just skip a huge cutscene here. You can also do it with an FLC, but it's ridiculously stupid.
Yeah, if you fall, it's like you have to run all the way back.
It's a 50-second time loss. It's ridiculous.
Oh.
And even if you mess it up and go through the elevator, it's still like another like 30. Not fun. So I decided it's worth losing like the 3-4 seconds.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about how cool that opening cinematic for Castle Black is? It's easily like one of the coolest cutscenes in the entire game.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, sometimes I feel like sometimes I forget this game is actually really visually impressive. Remember from earlier, this is actually where we were in the Peach intermission. So we need to get up on this ledge to do the thing. But now we have to do the hardest part about Peach Skip. This one Thudley jump. Okay, hardest part about Peach Skip is over. Oh. For the first part of the hardest part about Peach Skip. We also have to do the Thudley jump on the way back. This is the chest we would have to open to do the whatchamacallit. Do the sequence break. Life stream down. I pressed 1 to hop off carry, but I guess it just didn't happen. So not only that, but we'd also have to maneuver through this room with Peach, which would be ridiculously annoying. Something you'll kind of notice I go on these stairs is kind of run at them at the end angle. It makes it easier to not lose momentum when climbing up the stairs. No, I want to get through before I took damage. And this is kind of where we get stuck. We have no Bowser, so we can't like these torches.
Be crazy if like the door was like still up there and you could like access the door somehow. I mean, we could totally skip Bowser. I mean, surely it's still up there, right?
Yeah, and surely nobody noticed this until just now. The door's off center. I got him. I got them all. There's actually a few places where there's like off-center doors or like off-center like pieces of like the background. There's a really noticeable one in 2-1 where that room where I did that cool skip with the Z-axis manipulation thing, Majiggy. It's actually fun. You actually spawn on the right side of the door. So, welcome to Chunks Simulator. Yeah, so you literally just go back and oh, what the heck? I know.
You just
go back and forth and
manipulated.
destroy him.
That's crazy.
So we're kind of going back to the whole Chapter 7 thing. So, right now, every character will have their own showdown with their respective rival. So for Bowser, it's Ochunks, because they're both beefy boys. So, Bowser and Ochunks are going to let Mario, Peach, and Luigi leave. So we will no longer have Bowser in our party. But these two try to save each other.
Very sad.
Don't worry, it's a Mario game, nobody actually dies. The door's locked. We can't go back. So that the impending darkness is done.
Nice.
Alright, Flash. Tell us about the crash. Not the air one, but the level one.
This is 8-2, right? Goodness gracious. So this fight is basically like the Mimi level. So the first one was Bowser versus Ochunks. This one is going to focus on Peach. There's a couple skips in this level. There's one Thudley jump. Right? Is that the last Thudley jump, or do we still Thudley jump in 8-4?
8-3, and, well, kind of 8-4, depending if you're me or Zach.
But this is probably the last hard Thudley jumps. If you ask me right here in this room.
Yes.
So Merlin, not really Merlin, obviously, wants you to hit this block, but it's a trap. But we're just gonna skip the. We're just gonna skip that.
Oh man.
Well, close.
That'll work. Pretty much you can just do like a weird set of Thudley jumps to get up there. You just gotta space them properly.
Super nice.
You can do it in 1, or you can do it in 2. It doesn't really matter. I did lose a little bit of time there, though. I did mess it up. So this level, this room is great because there's so many like brick mushrooms. Look at that. Nah. Yummy. Oh no. But it's okay, because this one you actually do need to grab.
Traps.
So now we'll just progress as per usual. So there's a really important boss fight coming up here. Maybe arguably the most important boss fight in Chapter 8.
Oh, for sure. Do you want me to describe it?
Sure.
So, well, for now, you're currently talking to Merly. Obviously, we know it's not Merly. Asking what you're most afraid of. And obviously, as you go into each of the rooms, you're going to notice that whatever you said is what's put into the room. One of those options is actually Francis. So if you select that option, you'd have to refight Francis, which
Tell them what happened, Flash. Tell them what
I
happened.
almost did it on my world record speed run. I was so terrified, but fortunately, it was the wrong dialogue. So
It's all over. Now,
yeah.
here's what the important part is. This is Mimi, but she's different. You want to tell him what I can do here, Flash?
Yeah, so there's a really important thing where basically she turns into a saw blade and like goes around the room, and it takes around 15 seconds per cutscene. And so he's gonna try to stun lock her, and he has like a couple frame window to like stun lock her. Okay, I'm gonna let you.
Oh man, I'm already messing this up. So have you heard that little like? That's the saw blade attack. But luckily, I do cancel it on both of them,
Nice.
and I level up.
Nice, dude. So yeah, you can basically just stun lock her like that. Easy enough.
I just realized that's
really good.
300,000 too. That's nutty.
Yeah. But yeah, that if you stun lock her, it saves around 30 seconds.
Maybe even
Which is
slightly more than that now that I think about it. I think actually
I don't quite remember. I haven't timed it
I think
in
it's
a while.
like 40-ish. There is I know there's a strat to change it. So if you do miss the fast cycle, you can save it a little bit and lose less time. But it was made by Spittle way back when, and I just can't find the video anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
So now, just like Bowser, we're gonna be leaving Peach behind. Oh, I didn't get Scooter Mario.
What?
That's rough.
Weird.
Sometimes during that cutscene, Mario will just like slide across the floor instead of walk. It's really funny. (8-3) Countdown to Destruction. So 8-3 is the doozy of a level. The longest split in the game. This level has a lot of tech in it. It's one of the few levels where you pretty much use like every piece of tech you've learned up until this point.
Yeah.
So up here with Luigi, you actually know how you can start on the left side, but it is faster to go on the right side. I don't know why it works by just jumping up there like that, but it does.
I think it just checks to see if you've like stepped on the very end right there. So people just naturally assume that like you have to go like the top path, but no, you just have to step at the very top right there.
I never make that jump. Oh. Jump through those mirrors, get a key. I think the really nice thing about this level is that Mario and Luigi are executed to the best of their abilities, where it's like, not just in a speedrunning way do you use all your tech, you also use it all here. With just the characters.
What's annoying is these guys can actually hit you during cutscenes, so like,
Or like
just random RNG time loss.
So, well, they don't necessarily hit you during the cutscene, but they can fire during a cutscene, and they can hit you right after the cutscene ends. I forgot the door's fake. Oh man, I almost went in the door. You'll probably see me get hit in this last room. I'm not. Unfortunately, that guy spawned like right in my way. The other day I was running Pip Percent, one of the guys like shot through the wall. It was crazy. unheard of junk happening. Oh, are you serious right now? Are we serious right now?
Dude.
Ridiculous, man.
The boomerang guys, what the frick?
Had slightly bad movement there, so kind of messed that up. So one of the last, I think this is actually the last gold bar clip in the run.
Nice.
Ooh, don't do that. Do a gold bar clip here, switch to Fleep. This, run to the right. In this room full of the fake Dimensios. Run until I out. Here. Onto here, wait. Okay, so the Mario's shadow disappears. Hold 1 and press up, and Fleep Ledge Cancel. That was the greatest FLC of my life. Oh man.
Dang, it looks so good too.
I also like set that up like so great.
Just teleport, like, it's like using the door you like with telepathy or something. Just opening it with your mind and then just poof, you're through.
And then teleport. You don't even teleport through the door. You
Yeah.
just teleport. You just teleport through the door. That's what happens. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I love this game. Is there's just some tech like that it's just so awesome, and I'm really glad that I've been able to showcase it pretty well so far in this run. Probably actually lost some time to do this ugly thing there. So we have one of our last big Thudley jumps. Jump out here a little bit just to get our position set up. One here. And one more here, and we're chilling.
Dude. Goodbye, Thudley!
Bye-bye. We will be seeing more of Thudley, though.
Yeah, it's just not nearly as. That was probably like the last one where like a lot of people like lose time.
True. Oh man, that was some lag. I've never seen that one before. Usually lag is over here. Something you might have noticed is that there's been little like lag free spikes. It just kind of happens sometimes. They are consistent in every run pretty much. At least kind of consistent. We're back here. Back to Hold Right Simulator.
We love Hold Right Simulator.
Oh, this is a loud sound. I'm just trying to get my Wii U gamepad over to me.
I think I've actually missed this one before.
I think I've probably done. I did it like once, and then my friend Tiber caught it right away. I didn't know, dude. This dude caught it in like 2 seconds, and I don't know how. Alright, that was actually a really good 8-3 besides that boomerang, bro. Being really dumb. Now we're gonna meet up with Dementio again. And then he's gonna be like, yo, join me to fight Count Black.
And if you're JCR, I mean,
You're an unlucky soul, you might actually say yes and game over. It's actually
which has definitely never happened on the front page of Twitch before.
by a username by the name of JCR. Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Poor guy will never live that down, ever.
So funny, man. So we just come up with
Fortunately, he had a backup save, but which was so clutch.
So that's our final fight with Dementio here. Kind of.
Nice, dude.
Now him
Kind
and
of,
Luigi
yeah.
are gonna disappear. This is almost a goal, man. This was such a good segment. Where was this in that one 80% run where I was like 5 seconds ahead and I had like 30 seconds to save on the split? This is gonna be like this is still like a 10-1x, even getting sniped by the boomerang throws a zillion times, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, that was like the best RNG I've ever gotten there too. Oh, I'm not logged into Twitch for some reason.
You want me to say something?
I was gonna type thank you for the GL. No audio, but yeah, 8-4. Final level of the game here.
No.
There is a few strats that even though we just have Mario, we're going to be using Mario to the best of it because of his extensive abilities. That was that RNG time loss I told you, that Flash told you about. Hit by one of those guys.
Yeah. Just nothing you can do about it.
So in this room, we are going to be doing a small piece of tech to save about 4 seconds to avoid flipping a bunch, but here, just jump through the room like this. It's not. It looks like a really impressive piece of move, but it's actually like fairly easy.
It just looks really cool.
It
and
does
it
look
looks
really
hard to do.
So right there, you can just barely make that cycle with carry. Really good. I've actually, for some reason, I've actually missed that in my last few runs. So now, our one use of Dottie, fire run. Run over the chest. Now we're going to use that 3D meter to undotty us, or undotify us or something. Easy to switch to Thubby faster. Oh man. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. Okay.
Worked out.
So I did unfortunately just chug on that last Thubby jump, but it like Flash said, it did work out. I did end up making. Actually, might have been faster just to not do anything about that, but
You got to the end. That's all that matters.
exactly.
These guys hurt. Don't touch them.
Yes, I also only have 14 HP, so I gotta be careful.
Are you gonna heal at the final boss, or?
Nah, I'm just gonna go in at 14 HP.
Okay.
Ah. You can tell you're in the right place because the game lags badly. Oh man, I was actually touched that curse here by accident. This maze.
I think that one's the no power up, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Which wouldn't be like the end of the world, but
It kind of
Be a
would be
little
because
annoying
I
here.
literally can't get any farther in that room than the job is.
oh, true.
I think letting the slow dude would probably be better. At least then I can still move.
Yeah.
There we go, that's the end of the maze. Now we're just about to enter into the final bosses here. We have this Ultra Shroom Shake.
You should showcase the soft lock that Zach found.
So true. Yeah, so if you... There's a soft lock here that was found on a massive world record pace run that was going to be like a low 400 before sub 4 happened. And Zach soft locked in this fight by having... You can have like one of the cutscenes here start in a really weird way. And it's like the cutscene starts will flex like across the room pretty much. He just kind of despawns me and teleport. I didn't split. You guys remember how I said I'm like Bowser and thought they were used for a handful of bosses? This is gonna be one of those bosses. There's actually a really cool strike you can do here that you can do with Gary too, but I like doing it with Thubby because it's just a little bit better for me. You need Thubby out for the boss after this anyways, so... Use our last tonic here. Oh man. It's not good. Oh man. if he got me there, I was done. So I kind of set up the strat really poorly, so that's why that went really badly, but as long as you live, it's fine. Kind of. If he slows you down and does that big void attack, he can quadruple combo you. I've seen runs into that jump. Anyways, Count Bleck is defeated, so no Dementor's like, let me take over, little bro. And get ready, because this theme is a banger.
Facts.
Tower, please. So the strat coming up for this boss is actually really crazy because even without the tonic, you can kill Super Menchu in less than 10 seconds. So these guys are having their last little meeting. And then they bring the power of love together. Tippy and Count Bleck are reunited. Tippy's gonna bring them back to us. Alright, let's do this. Finish up this fight. Finish up the run. Run forward, stop for a second. Fortunately, it's not going quite as well as it could have, but that's fine. That went alright. So with GG's with that, that is officially Super Paper Mario. Super Dementia is dead, but we're not quite done yet. A few more cutscenes.
One last cutscene.
So just over here, I want to thank everyone for hanging out tonight. Anyone who may be watching this from GDQ or other marathons, watching this mission, I appreciate your guys' time to not only watch the run, but commit so much time to watching other runs. So again, thank you. And I want to give a huge thank you to Flash, who stuck around for the last 4 hours commentating with me.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, this is a really fun run to watch, to commentate. Sorry I haven't been like super vocal during most of it. I had to turn in an assignment before tonight.
No worries. But yeah, I'm glad we all had fun tonight. We just kind of like chilled, you know. I think, like, I know I haven't been streaming as much lately, but I enjoyed streaming this run.
Yeah, this is a really good run. This is a 351, right?
No, this would be a 350 flat.
Nice, dude.
So yeah, not a bad run. All things considered, like, I lost time to just some silly things. I got kind of screwed on black. I got some bad, like, I lost like a minute to pedley jumps, 7-3. They're like 30 and 7-4. If you actually give me like good pedley jumps in a run, dude, then I'm telling you, this would have been like a, I guess this actually could have been like a 348. So bad pedley jumps.
Crazy.
That being said, though, I did make the mistakes. I am still rusty. I'm closer to GDQ. In particular, if I run, I will be practicing this like every single day, pretty much. Yeah, so I guess now would be, Flash, if you could do me a favor and type !SPM in the chat, because my Twitch is stupid. Thank you. Yeah, join the SPM Discord. There's lots of stuff happening in there, especially after that new discovery today.
Yeah, the community's great. They find all kinds of really fun strats. Yeah, if you haven't or check discoveries, I'm sure it's posted in there. But Flipside Pit is
Looking spicy.
yeah, looking really good right now. So
But yeah, and again, check out the SPM Discord. Like I said, check out the world record history video. If you're watching from the YouTube, then you can just go to speedrun.com/SPM, find whatever links you'll need there. Again, that's speedrun.com/SPM. But yeah, again, I just want to give another quick thank you to everyone who's stuck around, anyone who's watching from YouTube, sooner or later, again, to Flash for sticking around. It's a great time, and even if this run doesn't get accepted, I'll be more than happy to keep the video up, and to just have moments like these where we get to connect. I've changed a lot since the last time I was consistently streaming, so I'm hoping you guys can feel more of that positive energy I'm outputting. So, and as for timing stops when may we meet again in another time and place fades to black. You'll know which text box. I'll tell you guys which text box it is. This one right here. May we meet again in another time, in another place. And that right there is Super Paper Mario Any %.
GG, dude. GG.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for everyone in the chat too.
Phenomenal run, especially in a no reset setting. That was
No
really
reset
fun.
D-Rust is real, like the 350-58 is really good.
Yeah. That'd be crazy if like this run did get accepted into GDQ and you got like world record.
Can only dream. Can only
Yeah.
dream.
But yeah, if you guys really like the world record history,
Oh. Can you say that one more time? What?
just don't think of too much.
You gotta say that again. My whole thing just messed up. Oh, hold on. Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
I guess-
My whole thing messed up.
Okay,
My
you guys
bad.
up. No, you're good. Do you guys hear what I said though?
I didn't.
Oh. So if you liked the world record history video, we might have a little extra something coming up.
Yes. Be ready for some epic SPMing.
I don't want to give too much details because I don't even know like what the timeline is going to be like, but keep your eyes out.
As for you, chat, I'm gonna say goodbye to you guys. I'll let you guys finish watching the credits, but I'm heading out for now. So I wanted to, again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye bye, chat.